the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook, the Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Pistons center Isaiah Stewart took a flagrant foul 2 against the Pacers Wednesday night, triggering an automatic one-game suspension, which he'll serve tonight against the Mavericks on Isaiah Stewart bobblehead night. He also gets a $50,000 fine. The 76ers and Nuggets tip off an ESPN NBA doubleheader at 7:30 Eastern. Our Doris Burke says Tyrese Maxey is trying to lead the way for Philadelphia.
For a team that has had as much thrown at it as the Philadelphia 76ers, what Tyrese Maxey has done, the load he has been willing to carry for this team has been nothing short of remarkable. He's on a 12-game streak of 25 points per game.
Doris Burke, no comment today from Heat guard Terry Rozier about a federal investigation that's uncovered unusual betting patterns around Rozier's time with the Hornets in 2023. The NHL is projecting significant increases in their salary cap over the next 3 years. During that time, the cap is expected to go up from $88 million to $113 million.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, I'll get you ready for Super Bowl 59 with the keys to the game. It's unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Let us begin as we do every single day. It's
time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Come on, clean it up over there. Theriot is in studio. And let us introduce to you a man that will be honored along with the rest of the 2000 SEC champ and Sweet 16 team. I'm used to the honors, if you would.
Swift and the SEC co-player of the year into the scoring column.
Smith dumps it down low. Jam number 2 for Stromile Swift.
With the second pick in the 2000 NBA draft, the Vancouver Grizzlies select Stromile Swift from Louisiana State University.
I'll tell you what, David Stern couldn't quite get Louisiana out too well, could he, anyway? But Theriot's in studio, and Stro is in studio as well.
2 basketball stars from LSU. I love it, man. I'm so fired up. I'm going to tell Stro the story. I scored so many points in the gym at Capitol one time, so they said, no, you can't play anymore in the freshman game. That's enough. Then they put me in the JV game. I hit them for like 30 in the first half. You know what, son? Go take a break. Varsity game starts. I lit them up again. They're screaming pistol throughout the gym. I'm high-fiving the fans. Dude, it was unbelievable. I wish I could have done that at the PMAC, but, you know, the little white ball called my name. Had to go play baseball.
Yeah.
Is that a true story?
Oh, yeah. Just ask him.
Okay, so Stromile Swift is in studio, by the way. Give it up for Stro's here with us, man. A big round of applause for Stro joining us in studio.
Hell yeah.
The 2000 SEC champs, the Sweet 16 team, is going to be honored at the Maravich Center Saturday. So Stro, the whole 2000 team here. Stro's hanging out with us in studio here to start the show. Theriot's here as well. So Stro, yes, actually, like as annoying as he is, he did play like a dozen years of pro baseball and is actually a good athlete. And his daughter's going to go run track at LSU next year. His wife was a cheerleader at LSU. So like the genes worked a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they
he's
were
one of
chanting.
them.
They were chanting Pistol Stro, and listen, man, I was.
Tell Stro why you quit basketball.
Well, I'm vertically challenged, as you can see, and you know, so it just wasn't gonna go very far. But my days over at Broadmoor, you know, just lighting them up, it was a good time. You know, Lester will tell you.
Okay.
You know, we had our time over with the Glen Oaks folks a little bit. And,
Tell Stro why you quit football.
Oh yeah, well, that's a whole nother story, but. And you know, it involves capital too, but I got sacked.
Oh.
And it was my freshman year, I got sacked, and a dude leaned over to help me up, right? Which was a very nice gesture. And I stuck my hand out, and he grabbed my hand, and he smiled, and he had all gold teeth. And I said, "This ain't for me.
Yeah.
Gone.
I'm out. So y'all can have that one. I'm going over there.
Going to play baseball.
Yes, indeed.
Stro, I know you were over at the Maravich Center earlier today at the practice facility with Coach Brady. I understand most of the 2000 team is going to be in, right? Have y'all gotten together yet?
Not yet. I'm sure I'll see them. I hadn't checked into the hotel, so I'm sure some of the guys have checked in already. But just ran into Ronald Dupree.
Yeah.
Talked to Jabari. He was about 2 hours away. Jermaine and Brad, I think Jermaine will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure about the rest of the guys, but from what I've heard, like we should have a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, man. It sounds like get that mic a little closer to your mouth if you would. Yeah, it'll move. That whole arm will move. You just want to pull it closer to you. Sorry. Right. It sounds pretty awesome, man. That those guys are going to be there. And the really cool thing too, Stro, is you know that 2000. That's when I was in school. Ryan was in school at that time. We were all in school together at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That was at a time when LSU obviously had come off of probation in basketball, and you hit a downturn, and that team hit, and it was like, I mean, everyone that generation of basketball fan got to experience what LSU basketball could feel like when it was popping. When you think back to that season, what things like emotionally come to mind about what it was like playing that year on a team that did what you all did, won the league and went to the Sweet 16?
Man, it was amazing. Like I remember as a kid just watching Shaq and Stanley and Mahmoud and those guys.
Yeah, man.
And like how they had the PMAC rocking and it was just packed out. And once I decided to come here, I wanted to do like the same thing. So it was always cool, like just like a bunch of Louisiana guys. Like nothing against Jabari and the other guys that came from other states, but man, it was. I just thought it was cool, like that. The guys that were from Louisiana, like all came together and wanted to stay here and play together. And man, we came here and we was able to do something special. And I just remember coming to some of the games and the lines were like packed back like down the street.
Yeah.
Like people were sleeping outside to get tickets, and man, it was amazing. Like so like that's one of the things that one of my most fondest memories of that time. So it was cool.
Yeah, you mentioned the camaraderie, the Louisiana folks, and watching the guys when you were a kid coming up, and I had a similar experience, and that's kind of why I chose to come to school here. Mm-hmm. But do you agree with, obviously playing in the NBA, but it's a little bit different. When you put that purple and gold on, and as a kid, you went to the PMAC, and I mean, I would sit like 10 rows up, and Shaq was still taller than me. I'm like, these guys are bigger than life, and then to be able to do what they did, I tell people all the time, like, I didn't dream of playing in the major leagues.
Yeah.
I dreamed of putting on that purple and gold. Yeah. And that's such a unique point that you just made. And I really wish others could experience it because it's a feeling like no other.
Yeah, like in the time that we came, it wasn't very popular to come to LSU after the Lester Earl thing
Mm-hmm.
and whatever, probation. So like I thought it was just cool because those guys could have went, like I could have went anywhere in the country and played, and just to be able to come home and to be able to wear the purple and gold. Like I was telling Matt a few years ago, like it wasn't even really about basketball. Like I went to a football game, and that's why I made my decision to come to LSU.
Yeah. So there's a video.
Yeah.
of the 97 Florida game when LSU upset number 1 Florida and tore down the goalpost. Stroh was on the goalpost after that game.
That's not a good decision.
That's not a good decision. That's a very bad decision, kids.
Sound like you partied before that game, too.
But I think I asked Jacques, maybe Steve Schneider, who had our cop. I don't remember. I asked somebody to go find it, and there is a photo. Did I send that to you?
You sent it to me.
Didn't we find the photo of it?
You
All right, I'm
did.
gonna find it in my phone. Do you want me to tweet it or no?
No, I got it. I just showed my sister just a few minutes ago.
All right, it's got to be in my text chain.
It's in your phone.
All right, I'm gonna find this picture, and then what I'm gonna do is can I tweet it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you don't care?
You wouldn't have operated well in the cell phone era,
dude.
bro.
There it is. No, look, here it is. It was. Shout out to I think Jacques sent me this. Look, there's Stroh on the goal. I got to put Paul. I can send this to you, Paul, and put it up. Maybe if I can find it on Twitter or something like that. But yeah, there's Stroh hanging on the upright, which I mean that'll get you hooked, right?
Yeah.
Hey, did you think Stromile Swift's in studio with us? The 2000 SEC champ, Sweet 16 team, going to be honored at the Maravich Center on Saturday when LSU plays Texas. Did you all think going into that year that you had the makings of something special?
I think so. Man, we just talked about this. Like my freshman year, like I came in, young, didn't really know what to expect. So there was some growing pains, some learning experiences. But that summer, like I realized like I wasn't strong enough. Like I need to gain weight. I need to get pick up some weight and get stronger. And I just remember dedicating that summer. Like I didn't go home. I stayed here for most of the summer. Lifted weights, got on the program. Shout out to Coach Nick Buckholz.
Shout out.
Man, he was huge. Always like huge motivator. But I just remember gaining about 10 to 15 pounds of muscle, and just the pickup games that we would play in the dungeon that summer. Like just how competitive we were. Like I felt like we were going to do something special that next year.
But Stroh, what's so interesting, and I had to jog my memory when I knew you were coming on. Y'all open up conference play that year against Bama and you win. And then you go boom, 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 3 straight losses.
Yeah.
You look up and you're 1-3 in conference.
Yeah.
At what point do you remember at what point you all felt like, okay, we hit our stride?
So when we went to Hawaii for a tournament. I forget which tournament it was. Maybe like Honolulu or somewhere. And we won that tournament. And then when we got back,
it was the Hawaii Pacific Thanksgiving Classic. You beat Oakland, Wyoming, and Fresno. I didn't remember that. I just looked it up.
Yeah, we beat Fresno in the championship. And then when we came home, we had to go to New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl Classic. And I can't remember.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State. They were ranked like number 9 or something like that. And man, we went in there and beat them pretty good, and that's when we felt like we knew, like we could compete with anybody in the country at that point.
Yeah. So even not deterred by those early struggles in conference play, like knew that it was going to bounce back.
Yeah.
Boy, it did. You got a second? Can you hang on for a second with us? Okay. All right. Stroh's in studio with us. Let's not get a break. Theriot's here. Terry, we got the Flying Squirrels got some playoff soccer tonight.
Got some business to take care of this evening.
Let's go, man. Parkview Baptist got a little soccer playoff action tonight.
That's
Macy and Georgia Theriot, all-state soccer players, going to go get it done for the Eagles tonight.
That's exactly what it sounds like. The mascot does it.
Do they play a over the speakers and to get everybody fired up?
Every time a goal is scored, they do that.
Is that what they do?
Mm-hmm. Just like, how'd you know?
My snuck in the back gate. Peeped a little bit of it.
Okay.
See some soccer action. So, anyway, so Theriot's here through for first half of the show, and he'll get out of here. Let's not get a break. We'll come back. We'll continue to visit with Stroh, share some memories from that 2000 team, and what we're going to expect tomorrow in the Maravich Center for the guys and who's going to be there. Stick around with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for more than 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. It's super easy. You can go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or wherever you are in Louisiana, you can just dial the 8s. Gordon's got offices in every corner of this state, so no matter where you are, you just dial 888-8888, 888-8888, or go to getgordon.com. You'll get connected with an attorney on Gordon's team. They'll start you toward that process of getting what you deserve. Listen, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Don't go it alone. You need representation. let Gordon's team help you. Go to getgordon.com. You can connect with a representative there at the website. You can chat with a representative on the website. You can call and talk to a living, breathing human. You can go to the website. You can see past client results, read testimonials. It's a wealth of knowledge. Whatever you do, just make sure you get the representation you need. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
All right, we're back in studio. Stromile Swift is here. Theriot's in studio. Talking to Stro, who you don't know. Stro's coaching high school basketball up in North Louisiana. We're talking about it, man. NIL isn't really hitting y'all yet?
Not where I am.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. It's a fascinating time. I wonder how much Stromile Swift would have gotten in NIL.
All of it.
Here,
he got it all.
Here's the bag.
Give it to him.
Give it to him.
Yeah.
Give it to 4. Just give it all to him.
Yep.
Do you think that would impact, like, if you could go back in time? Like, we spent the whole first time you all talking about your love for the state, being able to play. Like, do you think that would impact? Because I asked T-Bob that too, right? So T-Bob Hebert, who's on our morning show, Stro, like, his family's deeply rooted in Louisiana. His grandfather loved LSU. He grew up in Georgia because his dad played for the Falcons there at the time. But he's like, I don't know, man. Like, if it were an NIL thing, I'd probably go to the highest bidder. Like, have you given that any thought at all? It's just a completely different world.
A little bit, but I still couldn't see myself going anywhere else but here.
Yeah.
Name, image, and likeness. So I had a cousin. He still lives here. So when the Stro Show was blowing up, like everybody in the PMAC was doing the Stro Show. So he got a T-shirt made, and he was trying to sell them outside the PMAC. Man, they found out. They was like, man, you can't do it.
They shut that down.
Yeah, they shut it down quick. Yeah.
Dude, it's incredible because, like,
Not
now
today.
that's encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a way where you could go profit. And there's no reason not to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why couldn't Stro, doing the Stro Show with his hands, like, why couldn't you make a shirt, a pair, whatever, and sell it?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's one of the things I love about it. I mean, it's like I'm super, super, super pro. Like, everybody who listens knows this. Like, I'm as extreme as it comes with, like, pro student athlete on the revenue and transferring portal, all that sort of stuff. But, you know, it doesn't change the fact that was still a hell of a lot of fun watching that Sweet 16 run that you all went on. That team's going to be, if you're just joining us, Stro and the 2000 team, the SEC champs, are going to be honored. That Sweet 16 team will be honored at the Maravich Center. How did this all come about? Like, who got the idea of having y'all all come together?
Man, I think it started about 5 years ago. I was talking to David Fleshman, and I was just telling him about how, like, former teammates in the pros, like, how they would all get together, and it always just seemed like this big brotherhood, like this like family, and they would always go back and talk to the younger players at the universities. And I always just like, man, I wish we could do something like that. But the only person that ever came back here was Shaq. So that was really the only person that we had ever met. And I just thought, like, once Glenn and Tyrus and Garrett and all those guys made it to the league, I just thought it would be cool to actually come back and do something here. And a couple of years ago, we talked about it, and it was just a plan. And I think he got with Coach Brady and Drew Shea, and they actually put it together. And then Coach Mack, like, he was all on board for it. So
that's cool.
So it's cool to, man. I'm looking forward to getting to see everybody.
Y'all gonna have dinner tonight, right?
Yeah, dinner tonight at 6 at Walk On.
Yeah. So obviously Brandon was part of that team as well as a walk on that team. Do you ever go into Walk On? You see, like, the stuff from that 2000 team on the wall and everything like that?
So I was down here. I think it was for Alabama. No, I think it was Alabama. I came back for a game, and
was it this season?
This season,
yeah.
We went in, and me and Jabari, we went in, and they had all the stuff on the side. So it was pretty cool to see all the jerseys and all that stuff. It was cool.
You know what's interesting, Stro? Like, you and I talked, and Stro came on the show every year during every week during basketball season a couple of years ago, whenever that was. And we talked basketball, just chopped it up a little bit. And it was interesting. I remember talking to you before you started doing that, and it was just, I guess it's just the different perspective from being like a guy who was in school at that time, you a media fan, whatever. And, like, I kind of remember, you tell me if I'm wrong, but you kind of felt like, are people really going to remember?
Yes.
Are people really going to care? And I think it was the Florida game.
Florida.
And they walked you around, and it was like, bro, that's like, you're the second pick of the draft, bro.
Yeah. Like I was amazed because it had been so many years since I had been back here, and it's like, man, that was 15 years ago. These people not gonna remember me, and and I grew my hair out, and I was just like, I gained 30 pounds. I was like, man, they not gonna remember me. And man, I was walking through the stadium, and Stro Show, like people still remember. So man, it was. It's a great feeling to be able to come back home and people still remember, like, what you did here.
Yeah. Stro, you're also 6'10". When you walk around, it's like,
come on, bro. I mean, you're not hiding from anybody.
Yeah. Like, you think about that, like, with actors sometimes. Yeah. You could, like, grow out a beard and grow your hair, put a hat and glasses on, and you could blend in if you're just, like, an average-looking human. Like, when you're 6'10" and you're Stromile Swift and you're walking around LSU, it's like, oh, Stro, there he is right there. I see him.
That guy dunked on everybody. Of course they're going to remember.
Do you still dunk on people?
Can you still dunk on people?
You dunk on your players.
I dunk on them every now and again. They underestimate me. They think I can't play anymore. So I
just tear it down. Yeah. I love that. You got to do
that. I had a kid challenge. I just did a camp back in December, and one of the kids tried to challenge me to a one-on-one. I was like, man, you don't want to do that.
How big was he?
You maybe 6'1".
Oh, what did you? What's he do? So I was asking Theriot this earlier. I was like, okay, what happens when Stro can't jump anymore.
Yeah, because it's inevitable.
Right.
I mean,
but like I'm a sharpshooter. Like, could I just park it at the 3-point line and just bang him in your face all day?
Yeah,
or are you just going to hold up your hand and keep blocking me every time?
I'll probably block him, but I can still shoot too.
Yeah.
We
so
didn't talk about that.
what about free throws? Could I beat you in a free throw contest?
I don't know.
Pretty good. I was the Baton Rouge Metro Knights of Columbus free throw shooting champion back in like 1995. Hey, put some respect on my name, all right?
What is that?
The Knights of Columbus?
I don't even know what that is.
Knights of Columbus? That's a Catholic organization.
Okay.
Come on, all the Catholic schools have a Knights of Columbus.
Well, the Knights of the Templars.
No,
is that what that is?
No, not that. That's a whole different thing altogether. Hey, Stro, do you get a chance to watch this team? Have you got a chance to watch this team at all yet?
Tomorrow will be the first time I get to watch them as a full game. I've been catching like the little highlights and stuff, but I hadn't had a chance to actually watch a full game.
I know you got a chance to talk a little bit with Matt McMahon. What were your impressions of getting to talk to Coach?
Man, I like Coach, man. He's like his knowledge for the game, like his enthusiasm. Man, I think he's doing a great job of recruiting. Like they seem like they're gonna have a good recruiting class coming in next year. And just the energy that they play with. Like most teams, they take on the personality of your coach. That's what I was always taught. And man, just to see those guys go out there and compete, like it's looking promising. So I'm looking to see some good things tomorrow.
So one of the best players in the country is in your neck of the woods up north. Same thing that you were, I'm sure. The program wasn't necessarily popping when you decided to be a Tiger. What made you come down here, and how can we get that cat to come down here?
Man, I'm working on it.
You know, like, is it a
like I said, man, I chose to come here like just from a football game. Like I was so moved by like LSU football. Like it was an unbelievable experience. Like, man, I just something that I never forgot.
Did you take other visits?
I did. I went to Georgetown, Michigan. I forget. I was supposed to go to Arkansas, but I didn't go. Like they were upset with me because I decided not to go. My mind was already made up.
Was that Richardson there at the time?
Nolan
Richardson.
Yeah.
So Stromile Swift's in the studio with us. Tomorrow they're gonna play Texas. Pretty fitting because you all had obviously a big tournament win against Texas to punch your ticket to that Sweet 16. When I mentioned that game to you, right? It's weird, Stro, because like I could tell you exactly where I was watching that basketball game. 25 years ago, I know where I was watching that game. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Like, is it a moment, a player, a play, a thing, a post? Like, what's the first thing? Like, boom.
I think everybody underestimated us. They counted us out. But the thing that sticks out in my mind from that game is the block. Chris Mim, he was one of the top players in the country at the time, and so I took on the challenge, and I remember him trying to dunk on me, and I just went up and stuffed it right back in his face.
You can find that on YouTube today. You can find that all over the place still. I mean, Chris Mim was a big 7-footer, and LSU got it done that day to punch our ticket to the Sweet 16 back in 2000. I absolutely loathed watching the game against Wisconsin. They're slow it down, garbage. Go ahead.
I hated it.
That still bother you?
It still bothers me to this day because I really felt like we had a chance to go further in that tournament, and they completely came out and just dictated the whole game by slowing it down. Like they wouldn't let us get out on the fast break. Like it was a close game, but man, they took us out of our game. Like we wasn't able to get out in transition and get the buckets that we normally would get. So that hurt us. Like I don't think we were prepared for that.
It's probably the smart way for them to play, but I still want to be like, you cowards! Yeah. Get out there and run and play! Fight me like a man!
Like they just held the ball. Like I was just like, man, I was angry after that game.
Yeah. 61-48 was that final, but they'll beat Texas 72-67 to punch a ticket to the Sweet 16. Tigers made that run 25 years ago. Stro, Jabari, Taurus Bright, Ronald Dupree, Brian Bashera, CT3. Brandon Landry, Jack Warner, the walk-ons. I mean, what a team, man. It was so much fun watching you guys. Lamont Rowland. Is Lamont coming in?
Yeah, Lamont. He should be here. Brad Bridgewater.
Yeah, man. Giant. He was a giant.
Great team, man. So much fun.
He's a freak of nature, man. That big country strong.
Big shoulders.
Big broad shoulders.
Yes.
So the 2000 team will be over at the original Walk-Ons on Burbank.
Yes.
At 6 o'clock, man. So y'all want to get on by. I'm sure y'all probably be in the private room, but I'm sure there'll be people like bothering you for autographs and pictures and stuff. So that team will be over there. Get on by. Tell Stro, hey, make sure you shout them out at the Maravich Center tomorrow when LSU and Texas lock horns. Pun intended there. Longhorns. Longhorns?
Pretty good. Yeah, no, that was good.
Lockhorns. Longhorns?
Yeah,
Got it?
Works.
Yeah, sorry about that. Stro, you're the best, man. Really appreciate you for coming in. It's always good to visit, man. It's good to see you.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man. This is my first time. We've done a couple shows, but this is my first time in studio.
I know,
so
man.
It's cool, man. I appreciate it.
The bright lights. It's everything you thought it would be and more, right?
Yes, sir.
It's the bright lights of our gorgeous studio.
Got called up, bro.
There it is,
Congratulations.
Man. All right, we're going to knock out a quick break. We'll continue. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen Air Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Hey, look, weekends here. I know when you drive around town, of course, we had the snow last week, so there's a lot of flowers and plants and things like that are kind of brown a little bit after the snow last week. If you got that issue going on and you're not sure what to do, may not be the right time to start pruning. Our friends over at Clegg's, the horticulturists there, they got all the answers. So you can get by and ask them. They got great info on their Facebook page as well if you want to check it out. So check out Clegg's Nursery. Also, tell you every day, they've got arrivals, new shipments arriving every single day over at Clegg's Nursery. So flowers and plants. It's a great time when it's a little cooler. I know we're in the 70s today, but this cooler weather is the perfect time to plant a tree. So you want that fruit tree, that citrus tree that you and your family can enjoy for generations. Get it in the ground now. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
OTB, AFR, and the Hunt Palmer Show are hitting the road to spend the week on Radio Row, walking you up to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Our coverage is brought to you locally by L'Auberge Casino Baton Rouge. Listen on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and watch on the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel.
Let's say it together, Muse.
Yeah, I stumbled over it. L'Auberge. I got it.
No.
I stumbled.
No. L'Auberge.
L'Auberge.
L'Auberge. Let's say it together, you and me.
Bear.
Je. Let's do it together. L'Auberge.
L'Auberge.
There it is.
Casino Hotel Baton Rouge.
Had a bib.
Don't forget that part.
Erica hates when I do that because she says L'Auberge. Everybody says L'Auberge. I'm like, it's not L'Auberge. It's L'Auberge. And so then she says to me, she's like, L'Auberge. She goes, you know her. But and then she laughs. I'm like, why are you laughing? Like, that's how you say it. It's L'Auberge. It's not Berge. It's Berge. L'Auberge. Your name's not Theriot. It's Theriot. What if someone kept saying Theriot?
That would be aggravating.
I get Moscana all the time.
You do get
Moscana. Matt Moscana. The worst or the best is when I go to a radio show and the host is introducing me like, one of the best sports talkers you'll find anywhere from ESPN Radio in Baton Rouge is our good friend Matt Moscana. I'm like, listen all the time, do you?
Moscana.
Moscana.
Do you ever correct them?
Not on air.
Yeah.
Not on air. No. But I'll try to tell, what I'll do is I'll try to tell the producer. And you can ask Muse. I have Muse do this all the time. He knows. Like, if there's someone who's a guest coming on the show, we're not sure that, like, the pronunciation. I'll say, Muse will ask him for a pronunciation on their name, and then he'll let me know. So you get it right on air. Just a little courtesy there.
Yeah, I mean, good
right?
thinking.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Muse does
Absolutely.
it all the time. Like Ass Man, who was here last week.
Well, he wasn't here.
Yeah.
We just played a clip from him.
I just want to say Ass Man again. What was that guy's name?
I saw it. He was Jake. Hold on, I have it right here.
Ass Man.
What?
Jake Ass Man, as you like to say, but yeah,
Jake Ass Man.
What are we talking about?
And by the way,
is that their last name?
Yeah, his name's Jake Ass Man.
You confirmed? What you were going to say? What?
So, my friend Chris Gordy, shout out, LSU alum Chris Gordy, who's the host of Locked On SEC, works at Sports Talk 790 in Houston. I believe he's the APD there, assistant program, or might be the program director. Now, forgive me, Gordo, I don't really remember. But Gordy and I worked together at the Score 1210 back in the day. I mean, this is 20 years ago. Anyway, so Gordy, Chris Gordy. So you still saying Gordy around here?
Yeah, I was like.
So Gordo texted me. He's like, bro, I was listening to the show on demand. I was listening to the podcast. I was laughing out loud. We called him Ass Man all the time, too, because he used to work there.
Oh, in Houston?
In Houston, yeah. So they called him Ass Man. I'm like, okay.
How do you spell it?
ASSMAN.
No, it's ASMAN.
It's Ass Man.
So wait, did Chris Gordy confirm the actual pronunciation? Is it really Ass Man?
Hold on. I'll read the text from Chris Gordy.
Yeah, that's the guy's name. It sounds like.
Well,
it sounds like it to me.
Here you go. This was Monday at 9:24 a.m. from Gordo. Listening to your pod, dying laughing at Ass Man. Jake used to work in Houston. We called him Ass Man.
Okay, that's what they called him. We don't actually know if that's how the man pronounces his name.
That's a scientific fact.
Well.
I love that.
I know you would. All right, it's after further review. We are glad you're hanging out with us here. Theriot's here to start the show today. The Theriot girls got a little business to handle up on tonight. Who we playing?
It doesn't matter.
Kind of doesn't, does it? Is there any team that can beat the Squirrels?
Yes.
Oh, who?
Yes. There's definitely some competition this year. The sport is on the rise, but the first few rounds, that's why the whole playoff thing, it's too many teams. The first few rounds, it's.
Well, I mean, point the finger at the idiots at the LHSAA and the principals who decided to do the select, non-select thing, so you have 87 championships. Then you have teams that didn't win a game all year of the playoffs.
That's right. And it's not fun. It's not fun for either team. Like, nobody wants to go get their brains beat in.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Way to go.
So that's what we got for
old Eddie Bonehead and the principals running that thing over there. Just running it in the ground.
But we have a couple good teams in Baton Rouge, so it'll be fun.
Very good. So the Squirrels, we got some action?
Yep, got a game tonight.
Right.
So we'll see.
Good. All right. So Theriot's going to hang for the first half of the show. So we'll do Ryan's Letter Kick Rocks coming up here in just a smidge. We'll do Ask Ryan in about 7 minutes from right now. So get your questions in. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. The New Orleans Saints they still haven't hired a coach. There's this saga that just continues turning, and I'm laughing at a lot of the reaction I'm getting from Twitter and the text line, from people who don't quite seem to understand my point of view. So Diana Rossini earlier today reported that the Saints and Kellen Moore hadn't reached agreement, that Kellen Moore was maybe not super high on the Saints job because of the quarterback situation. Mm-hmm. But later reported that he might be working his way through that. Okay. Then Tom Pelissero reported that the Saints have not made a final decision, and they're going to interview Kellen Moore again after the Super Bowl. And my point is, what in the world are you doing? And so the reaction from some people has been, well, they're just playing by the rules. You can't hire anyone until after the Super Bowl. I know you can't formally hire anyone till after the Super Bowl. In college, teams can't actually have conversations about NIL and portal with players until they're in the portal, but those things are often done. We just saw Carson Beck leave Georgia, went into the portal with a do not contact tag. 24 hours later, he's at Miami. It was done.
Done.
Let me bring an NFL example. A year ago, the New Orleans Saints hired Clint Kubiak as their offensive coordinator. They did that on this day, the Friday of the Senior Bowl, a week and 2 days before the Super Bowl. Clint Kubiak was coaching with?
The 49ers.
Yeah, and what game was the 49ers playing at the end of the year last year?
The Super Bowl.
Yeah, oh! So the news broke that the Saints were going to hire Kubiak, or leaning to hire Kubiak, and then it was 9 days before the Super Bowl. Why? Because the deal was friggin' done. You can't formally do it, but it's done, you friggin' nincompoops. Of course. The bottom line is, if they were dead set on hiring Kellen Moore, it would be done. It would leak, and it would be leaning towards this and that, like sources. That's what it would be.
Yeah, that deal's not done.
And my point is, and look, they may still hire Kellen Moore. He's probably still the number one choice, and it may still get done. But the point is, what more do you need to talk about? You had a virtual interview. You flew up there on Monday. You interview him for 9 freaking hours.
Yeah, that's miserable.
What else are you talking about?
Yeah, that's a date.
That's a miserable date.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
9 hours? It's like, baby, you cute. I like you a lot, but this got to end. It's gonna be too much of a good thing is not a good thing.
Yeah, could be debated, but whatever. That's
dog.
Neither here nor there. Yeah, no. Look, it's not happening. He doesn't want the job, and I don't blame him for not wanting the job. The question is, who's going to take it?
Listen. I still think he's obviously the front runner. He's obviously their preferred choice.
He's the only guy that'll talk to him.
They got Darren Rizzi. They've got Kellen Moore, and they've got Mike Kafka. It's down to those three. And yes, Anthony Weaver's there, but all the reports are that the Saints were not impressed with Weaver at all, and he's not getting the job. So it's really those three. And they want Kellen Moore, and they're probably going to offer the job. They might have already offered him the job. But the bottom line is, there is a process to how these things get done that every other team follows that the Saints aren't following. And it's just dumb and clunky. And it looks terrible. Like we talked about optics earlier this week. I agree. Like, people like, oh, the optics of these teams turning you down. That's not optics. That's just you're a terrible situation. You got no quarterback. Your cap situation's awful. You don't have a high draft pick. Like, that's not optics. That's your reality. But how you have managed this whole search is what looks like you don't have any organizational skill. That's the optical part. Like, you're outwardly showing we don't really know how to manage this search. And that's the part that looks bad, as far as I'm concerned with how this whole thing is going down. Did you ever get tampered with?
No. I'm not begging people to hire me. You know?
No, did they tamper? Like, they didn't tamper with you? Is there a tampering period in baseball?
I don't
like
even,
before free agency?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
If you're under contract, basically, so in the NFL, before the league year starts and free agency starts, teams used to like tamper. So you'd start to get deals done before you could actually negotiate legally to get deals done. And so the NFL was like, all right, we're not going to stop this. So we'll just have a legal tampering period, which is stupid because it's basically you're putting the framework of a deal together. So as soon as the league year starts, then you can make it official. They don't have that in baseball? Like when free agency begins? Where deals are like, were you ever a free agent?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course you are.
Yeah.
Like, do you not remember any of this?
I was a free agent twice. Like when I signed with the Cardinals, I remember I was in the hunting blind.
Okay.
And Tony called me and asked me if I wanted to play for the Cardinals. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. How much? He's like, blah, blah, blah. I said, all right, in.
What was the number? I can go look it up. Like you can be modest or you can tell me. Like I can look it up real quick. Ryan Theriot, career earnings. Look, I mean, brother, it's contract salaries that are there. I'll look it up.
What was it in
Ryan
St. Louis?
Theriot,
I don't remember.
So Ryan Theriot, let's see. Cubs. Where's your Cardinals deal? Your Giants deal? Oh, there's Cardinals. 1 year, $3.3 million.
There you go.
That a babe.
Yeah, I'm like, where do I sign?
And then the Giants was 1 year, 1.25.
Give it to me.
How much you make doing roofs now every year? 3.3 million?
Not 3.3. No. I do a lot of roofs. Do 3.3. Paris Construction and Roofing. Come
Paris
to a roof.
Construction and Roofing. If you need a roof, help Theriot get back to $3.3 million per year.
Trying to get back, baby.
Oh my God, that's so good. Let's see. So with the Cubs, this is fun. All right, so let's see. This you had this coming for saying last week though when you told me like, oh, you're rich, you can do whatever. I'm doing this to you now. So Theriot in 2010, 1 year, $2.6 million with the Cubs. 2009, 1 year, $500,000. Was that arbitration?
My rookie salary.
Bro, that is brutal.
I know.
You're playing shortstop for the Cubs.
Balling.
Listen to
Balling.
this. Listen to this. So 2007, 1 year, $390.
Give me my stats for 2007.
2008, $428. 2009, $500K. Bro.
Give me my stats too. That's
that's
the brutal part.
That
of
is
the
why
whole thing.
baseball sucks. Baseball contracts.
And
they're
listen,
guaranteed. If you get to the guaranteed contract, you got hosed.
And
Kat.
listen,
starting shortstop for the Chicago Cubs, making $390.
What was I making in 2008?
You went from
400.
You went from $390 to $428 to $500.
Let me see my stats in 2008.
I got it. Just talk.
I have them right here. You hit 307 in 2008. 38 RBI. Played in 149 games.
Oh,
178 hits. In 149
Was that
games.
the year you led the NL in singles?
Yeah. And I didn't get paid.
So-
and I made, dude, see, that's what pisses me off about it.
So Ryan Theriot, starting shortstop with Chicago Cubs.
I think I had a lot of stolen bases.
Hit three.
Too.
22.
Yeah, 22 bags.
Hit. Oh, there's a pop-up. Hang on. There you are. You hit 307.
Mm-hmm.
Stole 22 bases.
How many runs did I have?
Where's your walks? You scored 85 runs.
That's a lot of runs. That's a good year.
You had 73 walks. On base percentage of 387. Starting shortstop for the Cubs.
I got hosed, bro.
Making $400K.
I got hosed so bad. So bad, bro.
So
whatever,
good.
Man.
Made it on that signing bonus so when you got drafted.
Not really.
Allowed you to buy that car with the subwoofers, like Paulie.
I mean, I spent it like a day after I got it. I was done.
I know you did. All right, we got to wrap up with Ask Ryan. Hour number with Ask Ryan, Dax Avar.
AFR.
River City's 1 hour air where they're always on time.
You don't pay a dime.
752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. Y'all check them out online, ONE1hourbr.com. Got an issue with your heater? Our friends over at River City's 1 hour air will be there lickety split. Hey, you know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow's Saturday.
Yep, Saturday is the
weekend.
Weekend. So, some places, man, you call them up on the weekend, they might be closed. Not River City's 1 Hour Air.
Not those guys.
So some places you call them up on the weekend, you know what they say? If you want us to come out, it's going to be a extra fee to come out on the weekend.
Emergency fee.
Yeah, not River City's 1 Hour Air. Nights, holidays, weekends, they'll come out, and they won't charge you extra either. They're the best. River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Drink Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, natural artesian water.
We went to Mike's Audio, and I put 2 12s in the back.
It's a man after Paul O'Neill's heart right there.
Got him.
Did you get the big Saints decal for your back glass like Paulie has in his truck?
No, I had a JL Audio sticker on the back glass, the type of speakers that I had.
What about a Ruckus sticker? Or did that come later?
Yeah, that was later.
By the way, the hottest name in NIL coming up. We got to tell you about that too after the break.
AFR.
South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. I was texting with Kelly earlier today over at South Point. I think if I go back there, Mr. Theriot, if I'm not mistaken, I think South Point Volkswagen might just have been the very first sponsor ever on AFR.
Really?
If not the very first. I mean, on the short list. 15 years.
Wow.
And for the last 15 years, that's all Eric and I have driven, our Volkswagens. You can attest to that?
Yeah.
Sometimes people are surprised when they'll see me show up. They go, "Oh, you really do drive a Volkswagen?" Yeah, I really do. had an Atlas, traded that in for the Cross Sport. Erica drives the Atlas, which is the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. I got the Cross Sport, which takes out the third row. A little sleeker, same great style, feel, performance of luxury. Test drive one today. South Point Volkswagen.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Tonight is Isaiah Stewart bobblehead night in Detroit, but the Pistons center won't be on the floor against the Mavericks. Instead, he'll be serving a 1-game suspension for too many flagrant foul points. We've got an NBA doubleheader on ESPN starting at 7:30 Eastern with the 76ers hosting the Nuggets. That's followed by the Warriors hosting the Suns. ESPN's Shams Charania thinks one of those teams could end up with Jimmy Butler.
They have the same goal right now between now and next Thursday, and that's finding a trade for Butler out of Miami. They are in active conversation. And tonight, actually, on ESPN, I would call it the Jimmy Butler Bowl. I know we got the Super Bowl next weekend, but this might be the Jimmy Butler Bowl tonight between the Warriors and the Suns.
Shams Charania on the Pat McAfee Show. NFL offensive coordinator hirings today. The Buccaneers promote Josh Grizzard. The Jets hire Tanner Engstrand, who had been an assistant with the Lions. ESPN's Alexa Philippou reports WNBA free agent Natasha Howard will sign with the Fever. Howard was drafted 5th overall by Indiana in 2014.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Monday, I'll get you ready for Super Bowl 59 with the keys to the game. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Woo!
It's that Louisiana boy, yeah, they call him the Riot. Born and raised in the swamps, on the fight like a tiger. He going beast mode, baby, he a beast though. What you think he supposed to do? You pitch a better reload. Get the point.
After further review, the Riot Radio Hour with Matt Moscona and Ryan Theriot, presented by Alpha Customs. Alpha Customs, Prairieville and Lafayette, and online at alphacustoms.net.
Well, how's your week going?
Week was good.
Yeah, good.
They have a good. I'm full of good ideas.
Here comes Theriot. The throw, not in time. Scudero delivers, and the Giants lead 4-3 in the 10th.
The wave pool, although probably full of bacteria, flesh-eating parasites, and the occasional turd, provides endless hours of fun. It's not cool to have a 30A sticker on the back of your grocery go-getter. Big fan of the truck.
The Riot Radio Hour.
Hour two. It's the second hour. Hour 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
All right, Theriot's here for 30 minutes, and he's got to get out of here. Flying squirrels got some nuts to kick.
What?
Well, squirrels eat nuts, right? They gather nuts, and they kick some nuts.
Man.
Right?
I guess, bro.
Kick some butts.
Kick some butts.
No?
They can kick the nuts. They can't eat the nuts.
That's what squirrels do. They gather them. They put them in trees for when they hibernate.
Kick them.
Cold weather. They store it all there. No? Is that what you want? Well, anyway, Flying Squirrels got a game today as their path toward a third straight state championship.
That's what it is.
Right?
That's
back
what it is.
to back.
Three-peat, like the Chiefs.
Going for the three-peat. Do we see a correlation with the Chiefs and the Squirrels?
Man.
Ever think about that?
I haven't really thought about that.
Like, what happens? What happens if the Chiefs lose the Super Bowl and then the Squirrels lose?
Then there is a correlation. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that, but that's interesting.
What about what happened the year before they won it? So 3 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Oh, that's right. They were on a different team.
Yeah.
So 2 years with the current squad, 2 state titles.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the old team? What happened? That would have been when Georgie was an 8th grader and Macy was a freshman.
That was rough.
Bad team?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not great.
Okay.
Not good. Not great.
Got it. Okay. No worries. So we'll do kick rocks here in a smidge. There's some stuff we got to get to.
Mm-hmm.
Ontario's going to get out of here at the bottom of this hour. Russ Mitchell next hour, by the way. Russ.
What?
Russ next
I'm missing
hour.
that.
You're missing Russ?
Oh, man.
Russ will be here next hour in his normal slot. This is his final visit before he hibernates. And he goes into hibernation until next August.
Please tell Russ I said hello.
I'll do it. How's your week?
Good week. I love
that.
Yeah, no, I'm a creature of habit. If I'm having success with something or like good results, I just keep doing the same thing over and over.
I love that.
And whether it's like food or like, I wish I could wear the same clothes every day.
Bicep curls. You got Popeye arms right now.
Yeah. So I've committed to the gym.
That's all you do is just bicep
It's
curls.
not. I do arms once a week.
Nope. I don't believe you.
But I've committed to the gym. I've committed to my diet. I am locked. I feel good. I mean, I really do. Sleeping better, sauna, cold tub, contrast, couple 3 times a week. I'm just in a good groove right now.
Okay.
And so
I love that.
Yeah, and so I'd like to talk a little bit about that and what happens at the gym, because I try to go every day. All right.
Okay.
So this letter is to the inconsiderate gym goers.
Here it comes.
I try my best to be considerate of others in most situations.
Mm-hmm.
I would say more times than not. I think about others before I think about myself. I've always been that way.
Okay.
Proper gym etiquette is something that most people would find obvious. But it seems some of y'all need a little refresher, so here we go. So let's start with the pre-workout routine. First and foremost, wear freaking deodorant. And I don't want to say freaking. I would like to say something else, but wear deodorant.
Yeah, wear deodorant.
When you go in the gym, a public gym around others, okay? Butt sweat and body odor happen. I get it. You're working out, your butt sweats, doesn't smell great. Some people have body odor, some are worse than others. But wear some damn deodorant, okay?
Yeah.
There are measures you can take to eliminate the path of destruction that your nasty ass leaves behind on the bench that you're laying on.
Yeah.
Powder, deodorant, a towel, all 3 work wonders. It's not that hard.
If I could, just one point. It doesn't matter if you're at the gym or just living your life. It would be considerate to wear deodorant.
Stop breathing so damn hard if you have dragon breath. If you're going to do cardio and huff out your halitosis breath all the time, please have the common courtesy to throw in a breath mint or 2. True story, it happened on the elliptical behind me. I felt like I was getting hit with just hot, I don't know what it was.
A fire-breathing dragon behind you.
Disgusting.
Just throwing it right in the back of your dome.
It's not something you would think about very often. No, I'm not going to spot you, because if I get too close to you, you're breathing in my face, I'm off that.
Do people that have halitosis know?
No clue.
Do you think so?
They don't know. They can't, because if they did, they would do something about it. I mean, it's super rude. Because you can do things for that.
Someone who loves them has to tell them.
You don't ever think, like, when they cough and put their hand to their mouth, they're just like, like, you know, like you cough, you smell it, and then you dry heave?
What causes that? I'm going to look that up. Is that like bacteria? What causes that?
No, man. I mean, look, it's an unfortunate deal. I know that.
Halitosis, poor oral hygiene, accumulation of bacteria in the teeth, tongue, and gums, lack of regular brushing, flossing, dental checkups.
I mean, we're not talking about, something's too hard here. All right, next, if you've got COVID, please don't come to the gym and work out. I had a guy sneeze the other day when I was at the gym, and it looked like green silly string flying out of his face. That happened in the gym. It was disgusting. There's no amount of disinfectant, the little spray stuff that's going to get rid of that viral load that my boy blessed us with. Okay, now that is just...
You know what could get rid of it?
Oh, I know, yeah. Oh, absolutely, I do.
Parish Restoration. That patented non-toxic dry fog treatment.
Oh,
if you have grody faces coming into your gym facility coughing up their yellow silly string and you want to clean the whole thing, Parish Restoration. Go to parishbuilt.com. How'd I do?
Great.
Thank you.
If you're sweating, if you aren't sweating during your workout, then you're not working out, okay? Let me just say that again. If you are not sweating during your workout, you're not working out. The gym isn't for phone calls, playing games on your phone, or looking at social media. So stop hogging all the damn machines or racks while surfing Instagram for funny reels. Get in, get your work done, and get out. Some of us have stuff to do. We don't have time for you to take pictures of every lift that you do. Grow up and get out of my way. I'm trying to get this done. Okay. Cardio equipment is designed to increase your heart rate, improve cardio health. That's the word cardio.
Yeah.
And in turn, you sweat. Sweating is part of working out. I just talked about that. It's an important part. And sweating is actually my goal, Matt. I like sweating.
Yeah.
Sauna, workout. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to sweat.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's your body's natural way of detoxifying.
So I'm running on the treadmill the other day, and some idiot comes to the machine next to me and starts walking.
Okay.
All right?
Nothing
Not
wrong with
knocking.
that.
I'm not knocking the walking.
Nothing wrong with that.
But while he's walking, slowly might I add, he starts watching a video on something on his phone. He's laughing. So he's really not doing anything. He's watching his phone, he's laughing, and he's walking. So I'm already like, okay, whatever. Apparently, the slow walking was too much for him to handle, or it might have been the episode of The View that he was watching, but it got him all flustered, okay? So he decided to hop off the machine and turn on the giant fan on the wall, full blast.
No good.
Totally ruining my ability to sweat. And just as I was like getting going in my run, this gale force wind starts blasting me from the side, okay? Of course, it didn't affect him much because he was walking super slow and holding the handrails.
Yeah.
Very inconsiderate, very rude behavior, typical clueless gym goer, right?
What if you had gotten off and turned the fan off?
And I probably should have, but I mean, like in the middle of my run.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to stop, get off, go turn the fan off.
That's when you go, hey, sir, take that down a few notches, please.
Hey, meat.
Going somewhere, meat? About 60 feet. You've got it.
All right, almost done.
All right.
All right, we've all been to the gym locker room at some point in our lives. Everybody's been in one of those, okay? I got a question. Why is it the old guys with the saggy skin and white pubes walk around naked?
Because they got nothing to hide and they don't care. That's it. That's the reality. They just don't care anymore.
Yeah, and that's a thing.
They don't care anymore.
You guys need to look into me. If you're a guy that does that, you need to stop doing that.
Just grab a towel.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that. Have
It
some
doesn't
respect.
matter. It doesn't matter what you're working with. It really doesn't at all. Just grab a towel because there's nobody that wants to see it.
Nobody
except
wants to see it.
Theriot.
I mean, I do think it's interesting, but
Because thank you. That's exactly my point.
But
really, nobody wants to see it. So grab a towel.
Yeah, just
use some discretion. Just use some discretion. That's all. You have to dive into lockers. You have to shower with a towel on, but just use some discretion. That's all.
Use some common sense. Just because you pay your membership doesn't mean you can be disgusting. Sincerely, Ryan.
So after further review, we'll knock out a quick break, come back and do Kick Rocks, although I think that just about covered it. It's AFR.
After further review.
Hey, if you haven't done it yet and you're thinking about building a pool at your home or maybe renovating your current pool, maybe you bought a house with a pool that needs to be updated, Duplessis Builders. They have an amazing tool for you. Go to their website, duplessisbuilders.net. So seriously, if you're thinking about building a pool, if you're someone who at your home, you're thinking about this, okay? You're not sure who you're going to hire. Go to duplessisbuilders.net. Go to the website, duplessisbuilders.net. At the top of the homepage, they have a tab for our book. So Derek and the team over at Duplessis has put together a sort of comprehensive guide, their book about building a pool. If you want it, it's free. You can go download it at their website to get yourself informed, whether you hire Duplessis or not. But remember, with Duplessis, get a beautiful pool and an unmatched 10-year workmanship warranty. DuplessisBuilders.net.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-11.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Off the screen. Her 7-3.
37. 37 for Michaela Williams. What a night. LSU beats Oklahoma 107-100. They cover. Thank you very much. How you like Manass? 6.5. Never a problem, although it was 1 point with about a minute to go. Michaela started banging threes. It was awesome to see. The best part of the entire game, though, LSU was up 24 in the third quarter, and Oklahoma started their comeback. But during that point, at about the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, Kim Mulkey, very upset about a call, comes to the sideline. Everybody's seen this now on Twitter, or on social media. Kim Mulkey goes to the sideline, slaps the first thing she can see, which was a clipboard being held by one of her assistants. The assistant then just holds her hand there empty with the clipboard that was once sitting right there in the hand. That assistant would be none other than quite literally the greatest player in the history of the program, has a statue outside of the building, is in the Naismith Hall of Fame, Simone Augustus. This is high on the unintentional comedy scale. Like, I don't know what would be at the top of the unintentional comedy scale, but the fact that Mulkey slaps the clipboard, number one. So Simone is just holding the clipboard. Mulkey's livid. She needs something to hit. She slaps his clipboard right out of Simone Augustus' hands. That in and of itself wouldn't be funny. The fact that Simone just sits there with her hand out, empty, and just staring at it for a solid 5 count is just beautiful on the comedic timing scale.
This is what good assistant coaches do, though. This is what she knew. She knew what Kim needed at the moment. She put it out there for her to do it.
Look at Simone's
and
face.
she got it done. She's like, huh? I ain't picking that
Simone
up.
Simone looks down and like, just watch Simone's face. Like, only watch Simone's face on this. Just watch Simone's face. Like, it's immediate down, then up. Like, did that just happen? And shout out to Simone for not, like, having an immediate, reaction.
No. Yeah, she handled it
I
great.
probably would have snapped. Like, if I'm standing there and Muse slaps a clipboard out of my hand, I'm probably picking it up and whacking him in the face with it.
It's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for you to not do that. I'll be real.
By the way, shout out to Simone for the sweater.
Oh, her sweater was awesome. It looked. She's being a good.
That's
She's
a
being
cardigan,
a good
I
assistant
guess.
coach.
It's got buttons. It's a cardigan. But
oh, I love that.
But check that sweater out. That really is fire. I wonder where she got that. Like, I would like one of those. Do you think that would, look at that. Do you think that would, let me scroll back a smidge. Do you think that would look good on me? Look at that. Do you think that would look good on me?
No, probably
No,
not.
why not?
I think that's a ladies' deal.
I don't know, dude. I think that's unisex.
Maybe so.
Let's go around the room. Muse?
Do I think it's unisex or I think it would look good on you?
Unisex.
Yes, I think it's unisex.
Okay, Paulie.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, unisex. Okay.
Well, maybe so. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not going to ask if you think it'll look good on me, Muse, because you're going to say whatever you want just to be combative. You're so combative all the time.
It might look good on you.
I think so. I'm going to ask Simone where she got that. Or if somebody knows where Simone got that, let me know. I would love to rock that. I mean, it's officially licensed, right? I mean, it's got the LSU logo on it.
Mm.
I mean, it's officially licensed. She had to get it from some apparel company that has permission to use the LSU license.
Has to.
Unless if LSU made it for her, which I guess they could have done that too. And if that's the case, hey, Grant, hook your boy up. He's the LSU women's SID. Look, Grant, pull that up, Paul. There's Grant right there with the beard. Let's see if I can scroll back a little. See the guy right there in the beard?
That's Grant?
That's Grant right there on the right. That's the LSU women's basketball SID. Grant's been with Sports Information forever. He was like a football, like a assistant, like young guy with football, and now he's like the guy for women's basketball.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Grew out a beard and everything.
I think Grant's always had a beard for as long as I can remember him anyway. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoni.com. Man, I got a great text on the show yesterday, on the show text line. This guy said to me, his name's Joshua. He texted me and said, I'm a longtime listener. I listen. I had my LASIK done yesterday with Dr. Blake Williamson. He said, it's been 24 hours. I can't believe how good I can see and feel. I said, I love it. Congrats. I sent it to Dr. Blake and just said, thank you for always, taking care of our people, everything you do. And Dr. Blake replied, it's amazing we get to change lives like that. Thanks to the folks like you who tell their story. Thanks, Matt. And that's not something on air. That's just a private convo that Dr. Blake and I had. But that's genuinely who he is. Like, he's got an amazing job because he gets to do that every day. And he's been blessed with an amazing gift. And he is internationally and world renowned. I mean, he goes all over the world and lectures. What an amazing resource for Baton Rouge to have this man here performing, working as an ophthalmologist here, performing these procedures. I mean, it's crazy. Baton Rouge, the Williamson Eye Center is internationally, in some instances, the first in the world to do X and different things. I mean, they're on the cutting edge. They're right here. Something probably a story people don't tell enough. And you don't have to go anywhere else because people come from all over to see Dr. Blake. Ditch those contacts and glasses forever. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoni.com. And if you don't call the Williamson Eye Center, you can kick rocks.
It's time to kick rocks with Ryan Theriot.
Kick rocks.
Presented by Ruckus. Kick rocks with shoes from Ruckus. Jones Creek Road in Baton Rouge, or go to ruckus103.com.
Tom Brady can kick rocks. That's a standing kick rocks, but this one's
a perpetual kick rock.
Kick rocks.
Did you prepare?
Yeah. Okay, you can kick rocks for being a middle midget.
Kick rocks.
Costing your team 4 points.
They can kick a whole bag of rocks for that.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
I went by Ruckus last week. Popped me a sweatsuit, Nike sweatsuit.
Okay. How about this? You can kick rocks.
Kick rocks.
I mean, I was in the area.
You can kick rocks.
And also, dude, I got some Jordans too.
How do you ever pop in a Ruckus and not call me?
I was right there. And,
okay.
I mean, it was just.
I ain't got to go. You can still say, hey, I'm here. You need me to copy anything.
And I've done that before.
Yeah.
I didn't do it this time.
Take a picture. You know my style.
Yeah, I know.
What I like.
Yeah, I've done that
before. Would you
before.
be interested in this?
Yeah, that was my bad.
Super rude, bro.
That was my bad. But I did get some sick shoes. Those are good.
Look at those. Look at that, Paul. Even get that right there. Uh-oh, I think I turned off my computer. Look at that.
That's some nice shoes.
Orange and black dunks. Got a little texture on the swoosh, too.
Let me feel that. What is it, velvet?
I got to MC I get to MC the Catholic High baseball first pitch banquet tonight. Fired up for it. So I was breaking out the orange and black.
Zion Williamson can't play back-to-back games.
Bro, I got a Catholic High vest. Like a vest with the CHS logo right here. Vest, like the zip. Like you wear vests all the time. I put it on. I was going to wear it over this white shirt.
It was huge.
XL. Huge on me. I'm like, what do I do?
New clothes.
I know.
Hey, you're skinny, Matt, now. Not as, but actually, not as skinny as the new Zion.
How about that? Looks good.
But he can't play back-to-back games, and that's a thing. And for that, he can kick rocks.
Do you want the audio?
Kick rocks.
I don't think he needs to kick rocks. I think the Pelicans. You want this?
I don't. Yeah, he's saying that, but I don't know if I buy into that.
You
But
want
yeah,
this?
let's hear it.
All right, you ready? Here we go.
Let me make this clear to everybody out there. If I can play in the back-to-backs, I would. I physically, yes, I can.
Looks good.
But I work for the Pelicans. They have decided that based off the numbers, it's not smart to do that right now. So, if that's what they feel, I'm rocking with them on that. But yes, if I could play in a back-to-back, I would.
Look how good he looks, too.
He looks great. He does.
He looks so good. I mean, he looks youthful and fit and energetic and happy. Oh, yes! Yeah! Shout out B. Brian Vetrano on Twitter. At Brian Vetrano. He sent it to me. Pull it. It's $139.99. Check it out. There it is.
That's it.
What does it say? Read it. Read the top. What does it say, Mr. The Riot?
The Coliseum unisex.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that checkerboard, purple and gold checkerboard on the sleeve.
Oh, you need to get that.
Look at that.
Yeah, that's you.
I really do want that.
That's all you, bro.
Look at that. I love that Script Tigers logo on the back. Money Moan. See, Money Moan knows what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me Money Moan don't know what she's doing, rocking that on the sideline.
Oh, she got that.
Got it. Thank you to Brian Vetrano.
Boy, Brian.
Hey, Erica, give me that for Valentine's Day.
The New Orleans Saints coaching search can kick rocks. We touched on it a little bit earlier. It's a disaster. I don't know who they're going to come up with, but whoever it is, they're not going to be any good. And the process was stupid, so that whole thing can kick rocks. And then lastly, I want to tell Cam Newton to kick rocks.
Kick rocks. Okay.
Number one, for his stupid outfits and dumb hats that he wears. And then he also has some terrible takes. And the one that he had most recently, which was horrible, he was asked if he'd give back his MVP trophy for a Super Bowl championship ring.
Saw that.
And his response was, nope, I did my job. Cam's a loser. He's selfish. That's why you never won a Super Bowl. You can kick rocks.
Get on down the road and kick rocks.
He was 15-1 MVP and got to a Super Bowl.
Selfish.
All right, it's After Further Review. Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Terrio's got to get out of here because he's got to go watch the Flying Squirrels, go do a little work in the state playoffs there over at Parkview Baptist. So wish the girls well. We'll have to talk about the new NIL queen next week.
Oh, yeah.
Unless if you have time.
No,
you gotta go?
We do need to. We'll touch on that next week. Yeah, it's big.
Oh, next week I'm at Super Bowl Radio Row. Are you coming down to Radio Row for Super Bowl Friday?
I'm going to be there Friday.
In New Orleans?
I will be.
Do you want to come do the show on Radio Row? We haven't talked about this yet.
You
don't have to, but I can get you a one-day pass. You can come on a Radio Row with us.
I mean, I might like to see that. My event starts at 6.
Oh, where's your event?
I don't know that. I mean, I do. It's on my phone somewhere.
What do you got going on?
I mean, there's an event. There's a party that I was invited to.
Is it the Post Malone thing? No. Is it? You can make me guess. Is it a concert?
It's a thing.
You hanging out with T-Swizz?
Kind of like an invite-only type thing that John and I, I mean, it's cocktail attire. John and I are going to go and just pop in, rub elbows.
Sup? I got one of those on Thursday.
Yeah, just ease on out of there.
Some Hall of Famers and stuff.
I mean, I don't know who will show up.
Cigars and whatnot.
The president might be there. I don't know. But we'll see.
All right. See you later.
Okay, bro.
Thanks.
After further review.
Shout out to the Watermark Hotel and the Renaissance Hotel. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Hey, the Watermark, remember, we're coming up on the weekend here. And one of the things I love telling you about with the Watermark is the Gregory, which is the restaurant there inside the Watermark Hotel. So you walk in bright, beautiful, all the marble and stone, all the original marble from that building. It's gorgeous. They've maintained so much of the history of the building while adding modern amenities. Well, the Gregory is the restaurant right there in the lobby, and they do Sunday brunch. If you love brunch or you're looking for a reason to go do brunch, maybe brunch around Valentine's Day as well, Sunday brunch at the Gregory is awesome. It's affordable for the whole family. It is divine. So there it is right there, the Gregory. It's light and beautiful and airy and spacious. You got to check it out if you haven't yet. And if you're worried about going downtown, don't. It's free valet parking when you eat at the Gregory. So pull right up to the door and walk in. They got you covered. It's the Gregory at the Watermark.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
What a whirlwind start to the show. If you missed it at the start, Stromile Swift was here in studio with us for a couple of segments. Said Theriot, he's got a skedaddle, but we're glad you're aboard. And then Russ Mitchell's going to be here in about 35 minutes from right now. Russ, he'll tell the story, but I got a text from Russ during the snow day, one of the snow days. And it's a photo of Russ, and he's in Africa because his mother is from Africa, And apparently he'll tell the story, but around Cape Town, and he actually, the first thing he sent me was a photo of, I'll show you this, Muse, you can see it. It's a photo that Russ sent me of a road and a sky and like a safari photo, and there's just a zebra on the road.
I see it. Okay, I see it. Yep.
It's just like
just chilling.
There's a zebra just chilling in the road. I'm like, where are you? And so he's like, I'm in Africa, Kruger National Park. I said, long flight. He said, holy expletive. Then he sent me another photo with 2 elephants
chilling
in the road. Just chilling. 2 elephants in the road. NBD. I'm like, actually, and then I said, the elephant escaped Alabama out of humiliation. That's actually what I said to him. That's what I did. So. Anyway, so Russ he brought his mom home to her native country. That was when we were snowed here. And then he sends me a picture on Sunday. Russ is wearing an LSU pullover. Naturally.
Naturally.
The man who says we. Yep. And it's a photograph of him with 2 ladies. And he says to me, this is Tony and Yolanda from Baton Rouge. We met in Africa naturally, with a laughing face emoji, and said they listened to your show. So obviously they recognized him because he's wearing an LSU pullover. They're from Baton Rouge. They're like, hey, make the connection. Anyway, and so then he probably started saying, do you listen to? And we'll let him tell the story. So Russ will be here in a bit, and that'll be really good. Looking forward to that. See how that all went. We'll recap the season, put a button on everything after the college football playoff, and maybe get a little early look at 2025 with Russ before he goes into his long hibernation. After that final put a cap on the season, Russ goes away and doesn't come back until August. And I think last year he might have come out of hibernation for one segment. I can't remember what it was for, but there was something for some reason. It wasn't Saban, because the Saban thing happened while he was on the show, but that was still, before everything had wrapped on the entire year. But in any event. So this will be the last time we hear from Russ until August, when everybody asks me every week, when's Russ coming back? When's Russ coming back? When's Russ coming back? August. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. They're the best. They've been helping Louisianians buy land for more than 100 years. And listen, it doesn't matter if it's in Louisiana. Maybe you want to buy that hunting property in Mississippi, or that ranch in Montana, or Idaho, or maybe you're looking for a property to build a camp in Mississippi. They can help. Or maybe you want the 20 acres on the North Shore to build your family's dream home, and you commute into New Orleans every day. First South Farm Credit can help. Go to FirstSouthLand.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. We normally do a baseball position preview with Theriot at the start of hour 3. The last 2 weeks we've done that. We looked at infielders 2 weeks ago. We looked at outfielders last week. Today was supposed to be pitchers, but because we got a little condensed because of Stroh came in early and Theriot had to get out early, we'll look at that next week. We'll do pitchers in totality next week, and then of course 2 weeks from today, LSU opens up the baseball season out at the box. That is a 2:00 first pitch. That's one of the things Jay Johnson has started doing here of late, is playing some of those day games early in the season to try to avoid the cold night games. So unfortunately for us, because we're on air during that, we're gonna miss some of that, some of those games, but we'll be on air. And for whatever it's worth, some of the College World Series odds are out there now. This is courtesy of, one second, I'll tell you who the odds are. This is courtesy of Circa Sports. Not every sports book puts out college baseball odds, for what it's worth, just as a heads up. Texas A&M, among SEC teams, has the best odds to win the College World Series at plus 600, followed by the LSU Tigers at plus 1,000. So LSU and A&M right there, and then after that, Tennessee, the defending champs, at plus 1,100, Arkansas plus 1,200, Florida, Georgia, Texas, all there following. You get into Mississippi State and Ole Miss, some long shots. But South Carolina, Paul Maneri's new squad, in there at plus 6,500 for Paul. And, I know we've talked plenty about some of the notable position changes or questions that LSU is going to have going into this year. Obviously, Stephen Mila moving to the left side. Who's going to catch? Do you end up with some of the returning starters in the outfield losing their job? We haven't talked a lot this year yet about Bear Jones, and admittedly, it's probably just a little negligent there. Because there's just sort of an assumption that he's going to be great, which I think he will be great. But D1 Baseball is doing their prospect ranking by position, and so they did first base, and Bear Jones they ranked as the number 1 first baseman in college baseball for the 2025 baseball season. And, I got asked today, do I think Bear Jones could lead the SEC in homers? The obvious answer is yes. Can he? Yes, of course he can. He has plenty of ability to do that. He hit 28 bombs last year. So, yes, he's very capable of doing that. And, of course, you could have a Charlie Condon. You could have a Jack Kaggs who just laps the field in the league. And that could happen with someone somewhere. My bigger question about the LSU lineup is not if Jared Jones is capable of doing that, because certainly he is. And he's also been a 300 hitter during his time at LSU. So he's not only proven that he can cut down on the swing and miss, he can hit for power, but he can also hit for average. I am mostly curious about what is around Jared Jones. And we probably haven't, and not talking enough about Jared Jones, we probably also haven't talked enough about losing Tommy White and what that means for the LSU lineup. Now, I literally just got this into my, I'm sitting here doing this segment. I literally just got an email into my inbox from Bill Franques talking about Daniel Dickinson being ranked number 3 on D1 Baseball's list of the top 50 second basemen in the nation. So that's a guy that I think we're all going to look at and assume that he's going to hit somewhere there near the top of the lineup and be a guy that you're going to count on to give some type of protection for Jared Jones. But that, for me, is the bigger question. It's not if Jones is capable. It's if the other guys in the lineup around him can give him the protection that, like Tommy White did for Dylan Cruz 2 years ago in the championship season. I know we've talked about it, but you had teams, it was comical when it happened, but it happened. You had teams intentionally walk Dylan Cruz to get to Tommy White, who was the nation's RBI leader. That provided amazing protection for Dylan Cruz in the lineup. So who's that going to be in this lineup? And I don't know what the answer is, but that's one of the things early in the season that I'm going to be very interested to see how that sort of starts to play itself out in those first 3 weeks before you get to conference play to see what you can figure out. I understand why everyone asks all the time about the pitching staff and who's going to be in the weekend rotation. It is as common a question as you get asked ever when you're talking about LSU baseball. And I think the overarching theme of this team, if I were to pinpoint it, from my perspective right now, 2 weeks from the opener, it's, man, there is a lot of talent. That is undeniable. There's undeniable talent everywhere, all over the field. What you don't have is a lot of proven production at this level. We talked yesterday with Joe Doyle. Raved about Anthony Ianson. Mid-90s, 4-pitch mix. That's awesome. I get why scouts love it. Can he get SEC hitters out? I don't know. Cam Johnson was a dude throwing 98 from the left side. Couldn't throw the ball over the plate. He's at Oklahoma now. So, Chase Shores. Knee buckling, 6'8", righty, throwing 100. Dot and strikes. Awesome. Haven't seen him pitch in a year and a half. Is he ready to extend? What can his role be? Jacob Myers. Blazing fastball. One of the top strikeout pitchers in the country last year. Also was near the top of the country in walks. Can he establish his command? So with every player and every talented player that we're excited about for this baseball team, there also follows with it some question. Like last year, you didn't have a question about Tommy White. You knew what he was. He was established there. And then you had guys who were established players who built on their reputation, like a Michael Braswell, who had played for 2 years at South Carolina, came here, played a solid shortstop for you, but built offensively because Jay Johnson got his hooks in and was awesome. So, got a lot of talent. You don't have a lot of talent that's proven they could do it for 30 games in the SEC, and that's going to be the biggest thing for me that hopefully we start to learn over the first month of the season before they get into conference play. But Tigers, second best odds of any team in the SEC to win the College World Series behind only Texas A&M. They'll throw out the first pitch coming up here 2 weeks from today. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us. Again, Russ Mitchell in 30 minutes from right now. We talked in hour one a little bit about the Saints coaching latest. We'll get to that to start hour three in about 15 minutes. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. We usually do Tigers and the Pros. It's AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Action Industries, but I also enjoy being able to tell you about the Advanced Turnaround Group. So the Advanced Turnaround Group is a wing, an arm of Action Industries, but it is its own separate pool of resources. So if you're talking about taking bids for your turnaround jobs that are coming up, Action Industries isn't pulling resources from other jobs and throwing them into the turnaround world. They've got the Advanced Turnaround Group, and is a completely different pool of resources dedicated specifically to turnaround. It's Action Industries and the Advanced Turnaround Group. You can find it all at the website. Go to actionindinc.com, actionindinc.com for Action Industries Incorporated, Action Industries Incorporated. Check them out online or on any of their social medias. It's Action Industries, been around for 43 years. Proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
As the weird and topsy-turvy NIL world continues to turn, this is another bit of news today. The NCAA has reached a settlement agreement in its NIL lawsuit with Tennessee, the University of Tennessee. And per this report at On3, it reads, this will permanently allow NIL collectives to negotiate deals with high school and transfer portal recruits before commitments. Effectively to say, you don't have to wait for someone to commit and then do an NIL deal. You can arrange the NIL deal in advance, which we know is already happening and happening everywhere. And this goes back to the Nico Amaliava recruitment and Tennessee being investigated by the NCAA. And in turn, Tennessee sued the NCAA. It's like, hold on. Like, everybody is doing this. This is what's happening in the world. And Tennessee won via settlement. I still have a major question here. And I'm telling you, like, I do not know the answer. It's, for me, the single biggest question that remains in college sports, which is, okay, you have revenue share coming. This settlement with Tennessee allows collectives to negotiate deals with high school and transfer portal recruits before they commit. But what role is NIL going to play once revenue share is in place? Like, there are schools that are disbanding their collectives. How much NIL is actually going to exist as we currently know it? That's what I don't know. I'm just telling you candidly, I don't know how the market is going to react, but that's going to be fascinating because this may not even matter at that point. We'll continue to follow it. All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Muso, Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, Nas Reed, night ago for the Timberwolves. Dropped 12 points, all of those off the bench. Only missed one shot all night. How about this stat line for Nas? 4 for 5 from the floor, 4 out of 5 from 3 to get him those 12 points. Stretch big, Nas Reed. He would add 4 assists and 4 rebounds, and the Timberwolves got the win.
Should have stayed.
Tari Eason, double-double for his efforts off the bench last night for the Rockets. 30 minutes, shot 50%, resulted in 13 points to 12 rebounds, or what took him over the double-double. I should have looked this up before that. I believe that's his first double-double of the season, or it's close. You got to remember, though, he missed a lot of time due to injury as well. Out on Pebble Beach, out over at Pebble Beach, or really Spyglass Hill today for Sam Burns. He played the second course there. Now they're all shipped back to Pebble for the weekend. Followed up his round of 4 under a day ago with a round of 3 under. So he sits at 7 under, tied for 20th heading into the weekend out there on the Monterey Peninsula. Ben Taylor shot even par today on the Corn Ferry Tour, so he's still at 2 under. And I don't know why you're doing this because there's no change. If he wasn't playing yesterday, Curtis Thompson isn't playing today.
Well, maybe you decided not to be lazy and you went and found where Curtis is playing today.
I looked into this stuff yesterday.
And as we went over it yesterday, you didn't do all the things necessary to find the answer.
Well, look.
You could have DM'd Curtis. You could have called on Chuck Winstead. You could have, there's dozens of different other avenues you could have pursued to find the answer. But we all know the answer, Muse. You hate Curtis Thompson.
It's not the answer. I don't hate Curtis Thompson at all. I've never met Curtis Thompson. Sure, he's a nice guy. Oh, yeah, that's Tigers in the Pros.
Friday show is brought to you by Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. Good place to watch Super Bowl a week from Sunday if you want to get over there. Get your spot. Okay, the latest on the Saints coaching search. That's coming up right after SportsCenter. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, and Michelli represented today in Hot Springs, Arkansas at the Arkansas Grown Conference. Charles and Jeff are over there through February 1, so they'll be there today and tomorrow. If you're in Hot Springs, you're headed to that conference, check out our guys over at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. You know what? Maybe you're not in Hot Springs. That's okay. This is just a great illustration that Michelli goes all over the country and all over the world helping businesses that weigh and measure things. They sell, service, rent the products you use to weigh and measure because at Michelli, they like to say, we show the world what measurement can do. It's measurement equipment. It's weighing systems. They have industrial scales. They're our nation's largest distributor of scales, and they're right here in Louisiana. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. If you're looking for work, a new career, hit the careers tab at Michelli.com. Michelli, we show the world what measurement can do.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Pistons center Isaiah Stewart gets a one-game suspension after his 6th flagrant foul point of the season. Stewart will sit out tonight's game against the Mavericks, which happens to be Isaiah Stewart bobblehead night in Detroit. Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans a week from Sunday. And when it comes to the quarterbacks in this one, plenty of flowers for the Chiefs' Patrick Mahomes, but Eagles coach Nick Sirianni wonders why there's so much criticism of his guy, Jalen Hurts.
All I know is all he does is win, and he puts us in positions to win. He's selfless. He doesn't really care how we win, and just goes about his business every day. And so I don't think that's talked about enough about how well he's done as far as just leading the football team.
Eagles coach Nick Sirianni. Today is the deadline to file objections to the $2.8 billion NCAA antitrust settlement, and there have been more than a dozen challenges. Experts believe the deal could still be approved in some form.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Commercial Insurance. It flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, man!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. If you're looking for Theriot, he was here a bit ago. He was here for the first half of the show. Had to get out. The Theriot girls have a playoff soccer game today, so we wish them luck and all the kiddos that are playing, young people, I should say, that are playing in the Louisiana State playoffs. Stromile Swift was here in hour number 1. If you missed that convo with Stro, it was awesome. The 2000 SEC champion and Sweet 16 basketball team going to be honored on their 25-year anniversary. Oh, my God. 25 years ago. They'll be honored at the game on Saturday at the Maravich Center between LSU and Texas. Of course, it was LSU's win over Texas in the second round that allowed them to advance to the Sweet 16. So that'll be great. Appreciate Roe, who's in studio with us in hour number 1. All right, we'll get to Russ Mitchell in a dozen minutes from right now before he goes off into hibernation. Admittedly, I am a bit surprised by the reaction that many of you are having to my reaction of this story. The Saints, to catch you up, effectively, the Saints have not hired a coach yet, and it seems like they're still going to continue conversations after the Super Bowl. And the reaction from some has been, but Matt, they can't hire a coach until after the Super Bowl. Right. They can't formally hire a coach until after the Super Bowl. It is, however, very common practice to have a deal in place with coaches that you intend to hire before their season ends. I will point your attention to 1 year ago with the New Orleans Saints. On February the 2nd, which was the Friday of the Senior Bowl. There was Cat Terrell, ESPN.com, February 2nd, 2024. Saints plan to hire 49ers Clint Kubiak as OC, sources say. There it is right there. February 2nd. Oh, by the way, Kubiak was coaching the Niners in the Super Bowl. Schefter reported it. So it's very common that happens. I had somebody on Twitter say, well, they can't because you get hit with tampering and you can lose a draft pick like what happened with the Eagles and Cardinals last year. No. Pay attention. A year ago, Arizona and Philly swapped third-round picks because the Cardinals tampered. What they did was they had a phone call with Jonathan Gannon during the no-contact period. That violated the NFL's anti-tampering policy, having that contact during the no-contact period. There is a period in which teams can go talk to coaches even who are still coaching. That's why the Saints flew to Philadelphia on Monday and talked to Kellen Moore. There's a period where you can speak to a coach who is still coaching. It's how this process has to go. The Cardinals a year ago had a phone call with Gannon during an impermissible time. Their GM apologized for it, acknowledged mistakes. The two teams, he called the Bidwells, apologized. The two teams made an agreement, and they essentially just swapped picks in the third round. There is nothing to prohibit the Saints during their conversations with Kellen Moore to offer him the job? Nothing. He cannot formally accept and become the Saints coach until after the season's over, which would be after the Super Bowl a week from Sunday. But Schefter can still report it, or whoever those people are that would report it. There's nothing this is commonplace. So today, all that's set up to tell you what happened today. Diana Rossini, very reputable, at the Senior Bowl and on her podcast reported that none of the Saints candidates, as of now, have been told they're out of the running, which would suggest there isn't a final answer. Rossini also reported that the scuttlebutt, her word, is that Kellen Moore may not want the job, quote, due to the fact that the Saints don't have a quarterback in place. She went on to say later that Kellen Moore, however, may have come around to the job anyway. So that was Diana Rossini on her podcast. A few hours later on Friday, Tom Pelissero reports that the New Orleans Saints still have not made a decision on who they're going to hire, and that they plan to speak to Kellen Moore again after the Super Bowl. I mean, all of that is to suggest they haven't made their choice. They could be leaning toward Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore may still be the guy. As a matter of fact, if you made me guess today, of course I think he's the guy, because if he wasn't, and they were sold on Rizzi or Kafka, they could have hired him already. The one guy they're waiting on is him. So, okay. But the problem I have is the indecision. And you could say to me, well, Matt, it's a big decision that they're making here. Take your time, do it right. Okay. What more do you need? If there's no new candidates, and that's the Saints who have said that. They're not interviewing anybody else. They've got their list. Okay. You had a virtual call, and you flew up to Philly and had a 9-hour face-to-face into the wee hours of Tuesday morning with Kellen Moore. What more are you going to ask him? I can't imagine. Now, I never hired an NFL head coach, but I have hired people before, and I've fired people before. I cannot imagine. Again, I'm not hiring people paying them millions of dollars to be a coach in the NFL, but I cannot imagine what else you could possibly ask someone after a 9-hour interview. That is stunning to me. And this reeks of indecision. I mean, damn it. Make your decision, be convicted about it, and go. I would rather the Saints have decided after that 9-hour interview that they were bullish on Kellen Moore. This is our guy. You have the silent deal done. You leak it to Schefter, who says, sources say they're leaning toward hiring Kellen Moore, and then boom, it's done after the Super Bowl, formally. What I don't like is after that, Tuesday, here you are 72 hours later, and reports are coming out that maybe he don't want you, but might be coming around on it a little bit. But then the Saints still want to talk to him, but it could be someone else, and they haven't told anybody they're out of the running. Like, all of that suggests a bit of a circus around this thing. And it's not to say you won't get it right, or you can't end up getting it right, or he won't work, or any of that stuff. It just shows a lack of organization. It shows, I mean, go back to what Mickey Loomis said when this job came open. And I know a lot of people have parodied him for it and spoofed him for it when he said, well, it's one of 32 jobs. Yeah, it is. Isn't that why people should be leaping at the opportunity? But when Joe Brady tells you no, and Cliff Kingsbury decides to stay in Washington instead of taking your job, and Kellen Moore may not think it's the right situation, like, you continue to have coordinators tell you they're not bullish on your job. Otherwise, they'd all be lining up begging to take it. Instead, you got guys that you were interested in talking to saying, we're not interested in talking. It's just, it feels like it again. This very well may and probably will end with them hiring Kellen Moore after the Super Bowl. But it feels very much and looks very much externally like an organization that can't make a decision, especially because the people they thought they were going to hire have told them no. With Aaron Glenn going to the Jets, Joe Brady deciding to stay in Buffalo. You don't get an interview with Kingsbury. He's staying put. So you have a pared down list of guys that were down your initial list, and now you got to decide, and they can't make a decision. That's not a great feeling from a leadership standpoint. I feel like that's where the Saints are right now. They'll just sit and keep waiting. Like, how do so many of you don't understand this? Like, how this works? I mean, I'm not trying to point fingers, but I'm genuinely surprised by the amount of people pushing back, like, well, they can't hire him until after the Super Bowl. Right. Formally, but I just gave you an example a year ago with this organization of them doing this exact thing with a coach that was coaching the Super Bowl. You have the deal in place, you leak it to Schefter, and then they're formally announced after the Super Bowl. It's because they don't have their answer yet. And that's a problem. All right, Russ Mitchell's next at AFR.
AFR.
Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Gents, if you are sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, you owe it to yourself to learn more about hormone replacement therapy. If you're struggling with ED, maybe you've had other ED treatments that haven't worked for you. It's not just pills. They do have oral medication, but they've got other processes as well. That's something you're struggling with, y'all. You know the old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. It's true. But it doesn't mean it has to be permanent. And Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Go to yourgoodwood.com. That's yourgoodwood.com for Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. One of the things I like to often say is you don't know how bad you feel until you start feeling good again. Hormone replacement therapy could be that answer for you. You owe it to yourself to take that simple blood test. Go to yourgoodwood.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, We know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Russ Mitchell.
Kicking the tires and lighting the fires. Russ! Literally.
Well, I'm proud of Russ. I think Russ deserves it.
It's football! Rusty, come on up here. Absolutely, I thought that was going to happen because it's state. It's supposed to happen.
You know, I haven't had much of a chance to talk to you man to man, Russ.
How are things out there at DBU?
I want you to stay here and take care of things, Russ.
The only way you can point up is up.
Not going in our yard, Russ. It's going in our living room.
It's like Troy.
Can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Put your foot on his throat and choke him out.
Take it, Russ.
For the final time until he embarks in his long, 8 months long hibernation, Russ Mitchell. How are you?
Oh, kicking the tires, lighting the fires, baby.
I mean, you got way too much energy to be heading off into an 8-month hibernation. It feels like we should just be starting, like you've already recharged your batteries.
No, man, I took a 3-week vacation with my mother, and that's more time than I've spent with her uninterrupted since I was in the womb. But we had a good time, man. We had a really good time. That was there you go.
I shared with our audience that that you went to Africa.
I did.
And
I did.
You sent me pictures of a zebra in the road, elephants in the road. Clearly, they escaped Tuscaloosa due to the embarrassment.
Well, yeah, there were elephants laying in the mud, which I thought was a very apt representation of their portal experience this year. But we can. By the way, when I was there, in the middle of nowhere, I mean, literally. By the way, I have a bad Google experience too.
Okay.
but you know, like in the middle of nowhere, I bump into I hear these accents and I'm like, where are you guys from? They're like, Baton Rouge. I'm like, it was Tony and Yolanda.
Yeah.
Who are on safari in the middle of Africa. And I'm like, the good Lord never put together two more beautiful colors than when he put together the colors of purple and gold. And they listened to your show and they'd heard me.
That's so good. Well, yeah, you sent me the picture. And, Paulie, do you have this picture? He said, all right, I'll send you this one, Paulie. But you sent me this picture, and you're wearing, like, an LSU jacket. So did they not notice the LSU logo on the shirt?
That was before I put the shirt on to take that picture. I always have. I always. They recognized. They recognized your show and they knew they'd heard me on it. So that just goes to show your reach, Matt.
So good, man. Africa. That's
so
wild.
good,
so you were in Africa. So
they were great too.
I don't think you'd mind
Tony and Yolanda.
I don't think you'd mind me saying you told me so your mother is from South Africa, correct?
Yes.
So
yes, Mom was born in South Africa.
So you were taking her back to why is that? Is that? Let's close that, please. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear Russ. We're in chimes, like emails are going off. So I just wanted to close that out. But anyway, so that's amazing. So you took a 3-week trip to South Africa. You went safari. What else did you do?
Saw the penguins down in Cape Town. By the way, Cape Town is. Well, it's on the end of the earth, so it's just ridiculous to get there. I mean, it is ridiculous. You need to stop at like a bunch of islands along the way and spend a week in each of them because the flight to Cape Town would kill a normal person. But if you're slightly above average like I am, it's a long way. But that being said, Cape Town is beautiful. The beaches down there were stunning, and they have penguins. I was trying to explain to someone. I said the penguins, and my mom said her entire life she would tell people about the penguins in South Africa. People would be like, Africa doesn't have any penguins. And she'd be like, well, I don't know. I live there. So, I mean, I know they're there. I see them on the beach. I was there. Saw them with my own eyes.
Oh, man, that's so good, man. That's awesome. I'm glad you had a great time. What else did you do? Did you get good food?
The elephant was delicious.
You ate elephant?
No, I'm kidding. It was just another dig on Alabama.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. No. The food is good. I mean, the food is good. The alcohol's good.
Yeah.
Everything about it was good. It was a good trip.
I'm pretty sure at one point you just said to me, all right, I'm going to go drink now. There's the picture of the rhino on the screen. That's a big old dude, huh?
Dude, they come like, I've got a video of a leopard I'll send you that, like, literally I could have reached out and touched the thing.
Oh my God.
And I was talking to the guy who was, the guide who's taking you around, and they use names to refer to different, they can recognize the different animals. And I said, so do you like call the animal over? And he's like, I'm sorry? No, it's not like we say, here, kitty, come on. It's like, remember that the leopard's other name is African death cat. So we tend to not call over the things called death cats.
Oh, man.
I was like, it's probably... Talk about off-brand, man. I have no business being anywhere there, man. But it was good. It was fun. I'll do it again.
If you were in Africa for 3 weeks, does that mean that you watched the national championship game while you were overseas?
I did. I literally watched the game in this safari, what do they call it, lodge. Literally looking out at elephants with an endless supply of beers from an honor bar, watching the game.
What's an
it was
honor?
Fantastic.
What's an honor bar?
You're on honor, so you just put a little chit down every time you take a beer out.
Got it. Did you ever just lose count?
No. It's an honor bar. Well, I did have to get another piece of paper because I ran out of marked spaces.
I don't doubt at all that you would be on your honor. I'm just saying that when you have enough beers, you might forget to go make a slash or something.
No, I was watching the game. I was working, so I had to keep it a little bit in control. But it was fun.
What were Russ Mitchell is with us. What were your observations, if you have any big takeaways from said game?
I thought and no doubt you guys have talked about this a lot, but Ohio State's offense was literally unstoppable. For a long stretch. I was so impressed with Howard. Completed his first 13 passes along the way to them scoring touchdowns on their first 4 possessions, 31 straight points. That was really, really impressive. A couple key big plays along the way. Clearly they weren't perfect, right? They had twice as many penalties, Ohio State, twice as many penalty yards. They allowed Notre Dame to complete 3 of 4 on 4th down. But, to me, the biggest point of the championship game was that Notre Dame was a rushing offense and they couldn't run the ball, Other than the first series, which is scripted, where they ran Riley Leonard 8 times, which, you can't, that's not sustainable. You can't run your skinny quarterback. I don't care how good he is. You can't run him 8 times on every possession for a game. They held Love and Price to 16 yards on only 7 carries.
Yeah, that's wild.
2 yards per carry. There's your game.
I think after that first drive, the rest of the first half, I'm remembering this off the top, Notre Dame ran 7 plays for 3 yards.
Yep.
I think the rest of the half, it was a complete ass kicking up and down the field.
Yeah, I was very impressed that they didn't give up. I was really impressed with the grit of Riley Leonard. That kid took a beating.
Yeah.
And that was really impressive. I thought Freeman did a decent job coaching, although not as well as he did in the semifinal. But, you can't get behind by that much. And even with the comeback that they had to get down there and make it a game at the end, they still had no answer for Ohio State's big offense, big plays. They sold out, to just try to make it upset. And then they completed on that big bomb pass to Jeremiah Smith. So it comes down, Notre Dame was a running offense, and they averaged 2 yards a carry. And that's your ball game.
Last thing on this game and sort of the playoff as a whole, with Ohio State winning the year after Michigan did, part of the national narrative is that the Big Ten has now claimed dominance in college football. Are you buying that?
So stupid.
Why?
So they had a Michigan team that's completely unraveled, by the way, completely unraveled. Don't tell me about the win against Alabama. Michigan is a shadow of the team they were that won the national championship. And Ohio State has always been a good team. They win once a decade, so there's their win, right?
Yeah,
I was at the win in 2015 against Oregon. Now they've won again. So, you still, what wins football games is talent. The portal winners were still out of the SEC. The high school players are still going to the SEC. And until that changes, until there's a fundamental shift in how that works, and it's not happening because of the NIL. The talent is in the SEC, and that's where the champions, on average, are still going to come from.
Well, I think the bigger change, I'd like your perspective on this, but it's all of that is true. But when you change the system, for example, Russ, if we still had a 4-team playoff, this year's playoff games would have been number 1 Oregon against number 4 Penn State and number 2 Georgia against number 3 Texas. So it would have been a field comprised completely of the Big Ten and the SEC. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I think the winner of Texas, Georgia would have played the winner of Ohio State, Penn State, probably would have had a really good chance of winning that game. It does change the conversation. Like Notre Dame, for all the talk about Marcus Freeman, Brian Kelly, they got in because it's an expanded playoff. Like they wouldn't have been in a 4-team playoff that Brian Kelly dealt with and the BCS when he was in South Bend. So, I mean, the system matters as well, like how we're going to, as a college football whole, will navigate what this means in a 12-team playoff era.
I mean, we've always talked about this. If you give teams a chance, if you expand the number of teams playing, then you have a chance because you just got to win 1 or 2 games in a row. And, hell, Arizona State nearly beat Texas.
Yeah.
Right. So, you don't know what's going to happen. But I will say Ohio State played the best football in the playoff. So I'm not surprised at all they win. And if they'd been in a 4-team playoff, they probably would have won as well. So
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me. They would not have been in a 4-team playoff. Like if this were a 4-team playoff,
that's right, because they were the 8.
It would have been Oregon against Penn State as the 1-4, and then Texas, Georgia.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting because of all the teams that were playing in the playoff, Ohio State had the best 3-game run, looked the best, So I'm very happy. We've already talked about the changes that need to happen in the playoff, and I think every sane person can agree on those things like reseeding and all that. But I'm very, very excited that we're here. I'm very excited there's a 12-team playoff. I think it does open up the door for more teams to get in there and have a run. But the SEC is still where the majority of the talent goes, even in the world of the NIL that we have to live in now. Perhaps it gets divided a little bit more evenly. You saw Junkins with the big run for Ohio State there, the 70-yard scramble on the 2nd or 3rd play of the 3rd quarter after leaving Ole Miss. But the majority of the talent is still in the SEC. And if you look historically, wherever the talent is, that's where you usually have your winners.
So where's the talent? How do we look for 2025? We'll talk about that when we continue next with Russ Mitchell. It's AFR. Stick around.
AFR.
Countdown to Carnival, and if you want your king cake, you can get it over at Rouse's. Any of the 70-plus Rouse's locations, from Lake Charles to Orange Beach and points in between. Let's say you got a friend, maybe a good friend who covers college football and lives out in Arizona, who just got back from Africa, who spent some time in his life in Louisiana, might love a taste of home. You could ship that person, whoever that might be, a delicious king cake from Rouse's. Just go to rouses.com, rouses.com. You'll see on the flipper right there the king cake banner. Click it. It'll take you right to the page. You can ship anywhere in the lower 48. So anywhere in the country you want to ship a king cake, you could do it this carnival season, courtesy of our friends over at Rouse's. Y'all are heading into the weekend. Maybe you're making groceries. Maybe you're having some people over. Maybe with the winter weather, although it is in the 70s today, you want to make a roof or some good gumbo, red beans, whatever it is. You can always get everything at Rouse's, and they love, love, love local products. At Rouse's, this feels like home.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Our final segment with Russ Mitchell before he goes into his 8-month-long hibernation. Makes me a little sad. Well, might as well talk about the 2025 football season. All right, let's get into it. How roster is essentially complete for LSU now. High school class, portal class, returning guys, who's left for the draft, et cetera, et cetera. How bullish are you on LSU in 2025, if at all?
Well, I'm quite bullish, particularly after the portal season. Really, I mean, LSU is the talk of the college football world right now, kind of like Ole Miss was last year. I mean, I think Kiffin did another good job in the portal, and if not for LSU, probably had the best portal class in the conference. But boy, Kelly really put his effort where his mouth was and went out there and just did a spectacular job. Top end talent on both sides of the ball, particularly where they needed it on defense and at receiver. So to me, with Nussmeier coming back, which obviously is, was the most important thing, LSU has to be considered amongst the top 4 in the conference. With the one big, huge question mark about LSU football right now, which is, can the defense improve? Can the defense not just improve, can it be good enough to win championships? And we certainly didn't see that in 2024.
You asked me in Las Vegas before LSU played USC if LSU was not going to be the worst defense ever. And I told you they're not going to be the worst defense ever. And they weren't.
Yeah, I believe my exact words that they will not be the historically worst defense in the history of LSU.
Yeah.
And you said no, they won't be.
They weren't that. They weren't even the worst defense in the SEC this year.
No, they were 14th in the SEC in scoring defense. They were 14th in run defense in the SEC. They were 61st overall in the nation. So you're right. That's not the worst ever in the history of SEC football.
They weren't the worst.
Or LSU. That's got to improve. That's got to improve. If it doesn't improve, then I don't care how many Heisman quarterbacks you have. You're not winning. So fix it. That's the first thing. The second thing is I don't even have Alabama ranked in the top. I don't have Alabama ranked as a contender next year. How about that?
I mean, I think you're right. They have odds. Good odds, but I think that's the jersey because they're a public team and people like to bet public teams. What do you think would be the biggest concern about Bama heading into next year?
They've lost everybody that was there. I mean, like the turnover there has been shocking. I mean, I can't, and obviously it's been aided by the new system that we have with NIL and the transfer portal and all that, but I can't remember this much shift in like 12 months since a coach quit. It's truly shocking what's happened to Alabama football in such a narrow window of time. But and then on top of that, I would call them the losers of the portal period. I mean, I think that's fair to say. Of all the teams that were in the portal, they were ranked 65th out of 70 teams in On3's transfer portal ranking. They had significant losses everywhere. I mean, the only 2 teams that I would put up with Alabama in terms of struggling during the portal, Florida. I mean, at one point, Florida's biggest transfer portal acquisition was the Michigan punter, and and the game.
That's going to be important for them next year.
They got it. That's a good point because they have massive. I mean, Sapp coming back on the defensive line was huge, just like he is. But they've got big holes on both sides of the trenches, and their secondary is super thin. Since they lost a great coach, don't know where he went. And I was a little surprised with South Carolina. I thought, given the young quarterback and the offense that they had, that they would do a little better job in the portal with offensive help, but they really didn't do a good job in the portal either.
You got to be able to pay, man. It's that simple. You have got to be able to pay, and they can't.
Yeah,
they can't compete. To your point about Alabama, Alabama lost 24 players in the portal.
Yeah.
They made only 9 portal additions. So
they made 0 portal additions because there was not one of those 9 players that I would have wanted if I was out. That I really want if I'm Alabama.
Listen, everybody knows where I stand on on Alabama. Like, there is no ambiguity anywhere. And it's hard for me to say anything because everyone knows there's not an ounce. No one will perceive me as having an ounce of objectivity. And that's okay. But everything you're saying is true. You could objectively look and say over the course of 12 months from when Nick Saban left, all the players that left before last season, when they turned over half their roster, and now again losing another 50 players when you look at portal, draft, and graduation. I mean, you turned over more than half your roster in consecutive years. It's not even – Alabama is not even remotely close to what they were
when they played Michigan
12 months ago when they played Michigan in the Rose Bowl. It's not even remotely close to being the same roster.
Do you care to make one guess at what I'm looking at right now?
The Vanderbilt.
Yes.
The Vanderbilt upright, the goalpost.
Yes.
From when they allowed 40 points to Vanderbilt.
I'm looking at that piece of the goalpost right there. I love all my children the same, but that was a very special moment in SEC history. I think just shifting back to 2025, Texas is probably, if Arch Manning can play the way everybody thinks he can play, and he's been there with Steve now for a while, so he knows the system and everything we've seen, if he can play reasonably well, that team is stacked. I don't know what their schedule, if it'll be as easy as it was last year.
So it's the same schedules, just inverted, right, home and
flipped.
Away. Yeah.
Right. So I think Texas has to be considered at the top. Georgia, I still think they're a national contender even without Beck. I don't think it's an issue of addition by subtraction at all, despite the fact that I was a little dumbfounded by the regression that Beck displayed during the season. But, Gunnar Stockton steps in. By the way, keep an eye on, there's a freshman on the Georgia team that a couple different coaches at different times during the season, without knowing that the other one had told me this, Ryan Puglisi, the freshman quarterback behind Gunnar Stockton, keep an eye on Puglisi.
Okay.
Because apparently he's tearing up practice. And then I'd say probably Tennessee, also ahead of Alabama. If they can manage to figure out how to score in the first half, they should come back with another strong defense, and I like the Vols.
Boy, they lose a lot offensively, though, man.
They do.
You're losing the SEC Player of the Year in Dylan Sampson, and you're losing a ton in that defensive front seven, though, at Tennessee. They will lose a lot off a team that was a playoff team this year.
That's true.
Do you care to dismount with any other nuggets before you head off into the sunset?
I can't find my hat, my parish hat. I need to find my parish hat.
You need to find that thing, man. Did you leave it in Africa?
No.
Okay.
No. My wife came and cleaned up my office while I was gone, and now I can't find anything. You know that I've kept every Steel magazine for the last 17 years, and she put them somewhere. So I'm very frustrated, but don't wake me up, man.
I know a guy that might be able to help you get those Phil Steele magazines.
I know. I know him too. Don't wake me up. Let me sleep.
I'll let you sleep. And
hey,
if you wake up to take a leak, call me. We'd love to have you on the show.
I was very happy for Ryan Clark watching his boy during the game. I think he played really well.
Yeah.
And that was nice to see. So that's what I'll close out on.
Awesome. For those who don't know, Ryan Clark's son, Jordan Clark, played secondary for Notre Dame. So that was cool to see. Just sometimes that's how the breaks go, man. You don't win them all. Russ Mitchell, you'll get him on Twitter. But again, he's going to be sleeping for 8 months. So
don't wake me up.
Until we see you. Thanks, man.
Later.
It's After Further Review, brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Heading into the weekend, if part of your weekend plans or you need to shop for tires, shop them at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. With locations all over South Louisiana. They started in Morgan City back in 1968, migrated their way up north to Baton Rouge. Now they've moved all over Greater Baton Rouge, Livingston, West Baton Rouge, toward Lafayette and Acadiana. If you need tires, buy the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible, and they'll handle anything on your vehicle, from oil change, a tire rotation, alignments, all of it. Check engine lights on, bring it to Shawbills. Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. All right, been a really good show, y'all. One segment to go before we send you off into the weekend. Big shout-out, Stromile Swift was here in studio with us, hour number 1. Theriot was here. You just heard from Russ Mitchell. Talked a little Saints coaching search. We'll knock out our final break of the show, come back and wrap up with Ask Us. Me, Paulie Muse, Ask Us anything about anything. We'll get to what we learned as well. Stick around. One more segment to go on AFR.
After further review.
Glow Resources, they are complete employer solutions. Love telling you about how, of course, at Glow Resources, not only do they specialize in skilled blue-collar labor, but they also can help you find any type of office, fill any type of office job with their professional placement division. Call over there. You can ask for Casey. Met with Casey several months back at the office. Gorgeous office, by the way. If you've never been to the Glow Resources office, you passed it if you're on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. It's right next to Pennington on the corner of Perkins and Quail Oak. It is, if you step foot into the Glow Resources office, you'll understand their vibe as a company. It is so much fun, and it's one of the great reasons why people love to work with Glow Resources is because they do exude and emanate that fun feeling. They're a pleasure to work with, and that all starts with Jareth Nakan, their CEO and founder. It's Glow Resources, a complete employer solutions. You need to find the right people to help you be more efficient. You need Glow Resources. GLO, glowresources.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here. on a Friday edition of AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Always shout out to Don Juan Cigar Bar. Been our great partners where, of course, T-Bob and I host Whiskey and Wine and done so many events and game watch parties and just different things over there. It's just a great place to go hang out. You want to watch Super Bowl, you can do it at Don Juan Cigar Bar. You want to get by this weekend, have a cocktail, smoke a stick, you can do it there over at Don Juan Cigar Bar in Town Center. Thanks to Russ Mitchell. Thanks to Theriot. Thanks to Stromile Swift, all part of today's show. We'll wrap up here. You get your questions in. Ask us, me, Paulie Muse. You can ask us anything about anything. Email us, tweet us, or text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Just catching up. By the way, Trent Ritchie said, get Simone on the show. I would love to do that. I think we need to do that, Muse. Maybe we can make a note to get Simone Augustus on the show. If you the clipboard slap by Kim Mulkey was hilarious. I would just love to ask Simone, like in that moment, what she's thinking, because there's no way you can plan for that. And the reaction was totally organic. And to just like hold her hand. I was watching SportsCenter this morning and they were doing not top 10. And that made not top 10. So
the clipboard slap?
The slap,
okay,
yes. It made not top 10. So, I mean, I wake up in the morning and I cold plunge. And so I always put on SportsCenter. So I get 6 minutes in the tub, in the cold water, and it's a cold tub. So I'm like, and I always catch the end of the, like near the top of the hour. So I'm watching the not top 10. And they did they'd spot shadowed Simone's hand, have the arrow pointing at it. It's hilarious. So I would love to ask her what she thought about that. Next week, by the way, we are at Radio Row at the Super Bowl, and I'm very excited about this. I can tell you, we have already. It's interesting how this works because it's such an avalanche of people, the epicenter of the sports world for that week. And we're excited to be there. OTB, Hunt Palmer, and AFR will all be at Radio Row. I can tell you, we've already booked, Brian Brzee is booked for Hunt Show, I think, on Wednesday. Athletes and entertainers. I'm going to have DeMario Davis. Dustin Poirier's already booked with us. Lauren Daigle, who's going to be singing.
Cool.
I think she's singing, like, maybe America the Beautiful. So she's singing something like that. I don't think she's doing the anthem. Do we know who's doing the anthem?
I actually don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, so Lauren Daigle's singing. She's going to be on AFR one day next week. So we've already got a ton lined up. Harry Douglas, former Falcons receiver, now an ESPN radio host, will be with us. A lot of that's already booked, and much, much more will come. So we're really excited about this. We put a lot of effort and resources into being there and being great. And also, we got our. Did you find it?
Yeah, John Baptiste is going to sing the national.
Okay. What's Lauren Daigle singing? Maybe it's God Bless America, but she's singing something. So they reached out and said, "You want to have Lauren Daigle?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." So we got our booth location today as well, and this is a big. So the convention center is massive, obviously. When you have that many radio stations, if you're just plop right down in the middle, it can be challenging. Our booth location, we are on the corner spot, main aisle. Directly across from the ESPN television.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know who hooked us up, but they hooked us up. I don't know who was in charge of that. If it was someone at the convention center, someone with the Super Bowl, I don't know. Maybe it was Jay Cicero, who will be on the show next week as well from Radio Row. So excited about that. What a week, man. What a week for New Orleans, for Louisiana. I mean, the whole sports, everything in sports will originate from New Orleans for an entire week. And we're excited to be there, man. So we'll be down there. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gents, we are 2 weeks away from, I'm running out of time, my apologies. We are 2 weeks away from Valentine's. 2 weeks away from Valentine's. You got time this weekend, get on by Lee Michaels, any of their 9 locations, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. Thrill her, gents, with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. lmfj.com. Shop there online, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Okay, y'all, that's going to do it for us. You missed anything, you get the show on demand. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have an awesome weekend. We'll see you Monday at 3 from Radio Row.
After Further Review.
I just told you about Lee Michaels. Now let me remind you about Supper Club. You want to give her a gift in the red box? Awesome. What if you present it to her while you are at Supper Club? Now, Supper Club is booked for Valentine's Day. It's Friday. It's 2 weeks from today, and they've been booked for a minute and a half now. But they still have some select seating available for Thursday and Saturday. So if you can't go out on Valentine's, but you want to go that Thursday or Saturday, you could do it at Supper Club. And one of the great things about Supper Club, of course, the menu is outstanding. I mean, you can have steak experiences that you literally can't have anywhere else. The Japanese omi beef, the herb steak, you literally can't get that anywhere else in Louisiana. There's only a handful of restaurants in America where you can get those steaks. And you can get it at Supper Club right there on Perkins Road in Baton Rouge. But the ambiance, the experience of dining at Supper Club. Like, you want flowers for her waiting at the table when you get there on Valentine's, they can do that for you. It's Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com for reservations. SupperClubBTR.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.